we've had on Raw 1v4s from him has actually been unbelievable.
I think we're more astonished that might be a 1v4. I mean, we didn't even clock it because it's like, is he just doing this repeatedly now?
Just full-on butcher blade coming out from Milu, chopping everyone to bits. Crazy.
Love to see it. So
Sorry guys, ये ड्राइवर्स अपडेट नहीं हो रहे थे, पता नहीं क्या क्या करके आया हूँ मैं, इसलिए थोड़ा लेट हो गया. हेलो जामिला बहन, वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम. की हाल चाल? बड़े टाइम बाद आज टीम इंडिया का गेम है. हेलो होमो सेपियन ब्रो, वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम बड़ी. की हाल चाल? वन आवर वेट किया है मैंने, देखो. अरे शुक्रिया जमीला बेन. अरे मैं क्या करूं बताओ, ड्राइवर्स अपडेट हो रहे थे, हो ही नहीं रहते. हेलो ध्रुवी, वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम. की हाल चाल, कैसे हो आप? मैं अच्छी हूँ, बेटर हूँ. आप कैसे हो? मैं भी बढ़िया यार. आप लोग बताओ. सॉरी गाइस, लेट हो गया. कल ऐसा नहीं हुआ क्योंकि आज ही सारा सेटअप कर दिया. रिमेम्बर मी? यस ध्रुवी, आई रिमेम्बर यू. अरे पॉपकॉर्न वो थंबनेल में था ना, बस, और कहीं नहीं है. पॉपकॉर्न ही नहीं है भाई. अभी जो स्ट्रेस आया था ना मुझे, सो फाइनली आज लाइव देख ही लिया तुम्हें. अभी से डेली देख सकते हो आप ध्रुवी. हम इनएक्टिव थे, अब एक्टिव है. आज से एक्टिव है. गॉडल एक फिनिश निकाल चुकी है. ओजी 2 प्लेयर गवा चुकी है. ये क्या हुआ? गेम साउंड ऑन है बट अभी कम कर रखा है ये तो.
There had been so much talk about Razy and Razak, and Federales has also had a massive amount of tenure throughout the entirety of PUBG Mobile.
Psycho भाई active for 24/7. Yes guys, तुम लोग एक बार लाइक भी कर देना. काफी टाइम बाद हम लोग आए तो लाइक कर दो. जमीला बेन अभी से एक्टिव for sure.
All of them have been playing individually and as a unit.
हम थोड़े टाइम पहले कैसे डेली लाइव आते थे, ऐसे करते सेम अभी करेंगे.
Showed us something different from their region. Honestly, they had some great aggression. I think they've been making.
भाई ओजी ने 2 प्लेयर्स का गवा दिया यार पहले ही.
Things out they go along, but genuinely overall we're impressive.
ये अप्रूवल कब आया? ये अप्रूवल आ गया अपने पास 2-3 महीने पहले ही आ गया था.
To be fair play. I mean, fair play.
Vitality really did get in there, mate. You got a little crunch down the zone here as well, pulling further down.
Don't forget to like and subscribe guys. Yes guys, 5 लोग देख रहे हैं. जो लोग भी नए आ रहे हैं जल्दी से एक बार लाइक कर दो, सब्सक्राइब कर दो, ये सब्सक्राइबर काउंट बढ़ा दो. हेलो चीकू, हेलो सुमित भाई, की हाल चाल? ड्राइवर्स अपडेट होने लगा था यार, इसलिए नहीं आ पाया.
Capability to choke in the finals.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's their major issue. Every single player on that team has great.
मुझे तो लगा आज हो भी पाएगा कि नहीं.
It just seems to dwindle a little bit once we get to a final. And we've been asking for that not to be the case for the longest time.
हो रहा का भाई
get to the point now where it's
है भाई इधर. ऑडियंस पागल है.
But they are consistently always here and you can't really
टेबल ले आए.
put them down.
मुझे गेमिंग टेबल कहाँ चाहिए थी? मुझे तो चाहिए ही नहीं गेमिंग टेबल. कॉन्गो, अच्छा कॉन्गो फॉर अप्रूवल. अरे शुक्रिया एसजी भाई, शुक्रिया दिल से.
Eastern edge. Now, there's a lot of these big pillars involved inside the circle, as well as stadium over towards that northeast side, which is a bit open.
Guys, predict करो पहला चिकन कौन लेके आ रहा है? अभी तो नहीं कर सकते लेकिन कर सकते.
They also know this area very well. It is their drop spot, but Fourth Rise have beaten them to the punch here down towards their southwest from stadium.
क्या खाया आप? अरे मैं खाया ही नहीं हूँ अभी.
Form of Fury is going to be looking like in a final situation again as well. They were massively coming alive, dude. Felt like it was way better in terms of the decision making. The communication was on point. A lot of the fights we witnessed from them.
अरे टीम इंडिया बोलो स्मिथ भाई, टीम इंडिया, वी आर टीम इंडिया। यार ओजी ने 2 प्लेयर्स जो गवाए ना, वो थोड़ा लॉस है। गॉडल निकाल सकती है। टीम इंडिया, यस टीम इंडिया। अरे ऐसे अभी भूख नहीं था जमीला, आपने खाया ये बताओ? क्या आपने खाया? भाई मेरे मैं इतना मस्त तैयार होके बैठा था, अभी सारा वायर सब ठीक करना पड़ा मुझे। एक मिनट। क्या खाया आपने?
Generally is the last player to go down. Plays that survivalist very well for them as well. Yeah, you're right. Furia looking good. Igor's, I think, was a big surprise.
Team India, मतलब ये गेम अच्छा चला जाए decent सा तो भी दिक्कत नहीं है।
Doing a lot of good work, but yeah,
सब काउंट यहाँ लगाते हैं।
Really giving it to a lot of these squads. Now we're getting into
ध्रुव इतनी देर तक खाए बिना कौन रह सकता? मैं रह सकता हूँ। अभी आपने देखा नहीं है मुझे स्ट्रीम करते हुए। मैं रह सकता हूँ।
It is uncomfortable to play in, and swinging from apartment to apartment is not always easy, and there's a lot of difficult windows.
ध्रुवी आपने खाया ये बताओ?
We can't quite get those full finishes on, so I'm curious to see how this will play out. I think it's going to be a little bit of a passive game going towards the end, but you do have to get in towards Joutin.
ये अपना वाला सर्वाइवर देखो गॉडलाइक का ना रोंडो है, ठीक है, निकाल सकते हैं। दूसरी बार खा लिया। वाओ, आपने क्या खाया था अभी दूसरी बार?
And only one man in last, forced to bail out and try and keep their dreams alive as he breezes out of action. There's Aurora as well, clashing against Ida Blank.
I mean, Ida tried to get on the northeast side, which I think is, at this point, a little bit too late. They got crunched in by Vitality as well.
Guys, so like and subscribe कर दो, yes.
You somewhat deserve that coming into this stage of the game.
मचा दो।
It's still far on the western side, but because it's such a big amount of landmass with a lot of
भाई ये
places
फ्रेम
to
जो है
play,
EWC वालों ने किया इसलिए लगाया हुआ है। पहली बार कुछ दिया है तो लगा दो। पूरा स्ट्रीम पैक दिया लेकिन उसका यूज ही नहीं अपने को।
A lot of other teams have to take something a little bit more unfortunate. Fourth rise though, Joker stepping up to the plate. He is spraying through the smoke. He's giving stuff away though, Jackie.
Yeah, this is risky, bro.
दाल चावल तो अच्छी चीज है यार, मैं नहीं खाता हूँ मुझसे पूछो। भाई क्या मारा भाई?
On top of the rocks, so much damage already done to 4 Frides. This would be a hellish way to go down, and that's how they fall in our opening game. E-Arena.
Hearing it down, but back on ball with Tiamba. Milu finding the first, as per usual. Scarface desperate against it, but he's just pushing up. A-King will find another
Chat,
shot.
एक सेकंड जब मिला मेरे कौन सी chat?
Very
कल रात को नहीं।
And Tiamba puts up more points. Milu on a fat 7 so far.
It's not going to stop either.
ओह, कल रात नहीं खाया तो आज पोहे खाया और अभी लंच कर लिया। क्या बात है, बढ़िया बढ़िया। यार दाल चावल ये सब खाओ भाई, ये सब तो अच्छा लगता है। और आप तो भी इंडिया में हो शायद।
Turns his attention back up onto him though. Few shots as he dumps the magazine towards Milu. Someone needs to stop him, Black.
Milu is just out of control this game. You're right.
आरू ने नॉक दिया। चल आरू फिनिश ले भाई। एक फिनिश तो आया भाई। 0 से बेटर सब है, लेकिन अभी कुछ भी नहीं गया।
They're going to take the blue for a little bit to try and deny those sightlines. They make their way over towards the pagoda.
भाई चश्मा लगा ले तो वो वाला भाई कहाँ गया?
Difficult spot to play.
चश्मा ही लगा ले तो।
Curious to see how it does work.
Yeah.
Aurora seems like
पॉपकॉर्न थंबनेल में था, यहाँ नहीं है। वो भी AI जनरेटेड था।
Everyone does find Eagle. Goodness me, still being a nuisance on that east side.
Fair play, man. He's thinking you want to try and ruin this for us on game 1? We'll at least make it uncomfortable. Force out the utilities.
बाहर फिनिश निकाल दिया भाई टियान ने। बढ़िया भाई।
Make a move towards that recall, the zone coming in, and that's going to really crunch
Mino
up
zone
away from
play,
all of
yeah.
them. Still dead center for Vitality.
Yeah, Vitality's actually in a really good spot here. Like I said before, it does give them that capability to move out over
भाई
towards
chat के लिए
that
मुझे फोन ही
northeast
लगाने
side of
दो
Knees B, but
ओए
they also
होए
can crunch
अब
every
जाने
single
वाली
time on
हूँ
that
फिर
western
से
side.
स्टार्ट
There was
होने
one
वाला
player
है
left remaining
ओके
from Ida.
एग्जाम्स
It
ना
is Darkin. He is over on the
School.
eastern side of
Okay.
Joutin, just hanging out for the time being, but that does kind of save grace.
स्ट्रीम
for
पे तो आओगे ना
Vitality,
इंडिया में रहो
because
या
they'll
कहीं
hear
भी
the
बाहर
shots
रहो
immediately if someone tries to rock over towards Darkin, just give them a brief opportunity to reassemble and reassess how they want to play off on that eastern side. Quick replay here from Federales, just instant shots. I think this has been a key factor for Federales throughout the entire tournament as well. Reaction speed. He is
ऐसा नहीं बोलना चाहिए इसमें देख
It was quick and on a disgusting angle as well. So good plays. All Federales. No one
5 लोग देख रहे गाइस लाइक कर दो ओ बढ़िया भाई ये टियान पागल हो गई है क्या
Federales falls. What's gone on there?
भाई देखो टियान निकाले जा रही है वाइटलिटी को दे दिया भाई ओ, चलो 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 दो फिनिश निकाल लिए यहाँ से भी एक प्लेयर का एक दिया दो लिए पागल हो गई भाई क्या कर रहे हो यहाँ
Mate, this is lunacy.
Yeah,
Milu's looking for the nade as well, wants to really commit to this. Meanwhile, the last man from Ulf goes down. They fall second into our first game. Milu priming the nades. Oh,
nice, good nade from them. Hits it back.
टियान
Axel and Razak still up and kicking. That nade looked dangerous. Milu's down, tries to crawl his way back in
टियान पे
towards the smoke to mask
भाई
his
आया
presence.
भाई चारों तरफ से दिया है उसको तीन तरफ से
QZZ
घेर के
still alive. Last of a player up, probably the one you want to see as well here for Tiamba.
वन मैन स्टैंडिंग
14 eliminations this game.
बट
so
इन्होंने
far,
अपना
though,
काम
still
कर लिया भाई
decent.
14
That is
फिनिशेस लेके जा रहे हैं भाई 14 पॉइंट
Vitality's gonna let it happen.
oh, mate. He's going to get it in. The res is going to get him back up. The insane bit was as well, it was the nades from Aurora from all the way in the back line that got that initial knock back over onto Milu. Vitality have just been caught in the middle of it all. Most aggressive game of badminton with nades being bounced over the top of their heads. Molly in round the corner, QZZ with a nade back.
He's just going for it.
Angle, good night.
एक और भाई क्या
Both out.
भाई क्या कर रही है टियान
He's like, I've run out of grenades. You see so many players just step back and be like, that's it then. But he's like, if I can't do it with a nade, I'm just facing. I'm fully facing. Now Aurora, they're pushing on the sidelines. Can Tiamba hold 2 versus 4 here? It's a tough one. The opening grenade is not good, but Reefers is taking a ton of damage. Top bullet finds at least find QZZ, and it seems like Milu will also go down. But 16 eliminations.
एस पावर ने एक फिनिश लिया किसी का तो लिया
And I'm sure you can hear that.
इनका काम हो गया यस इनका काम हो गया भाई 16 फिनिश ले लिया भाई इन्होंने
A spectacle to
Eliminated.
start here on game
कोई
1
बात
of
नहीं भाई
Rondo, and it's Tiamba that lead the charge. Now out of the running, let's see if anyone else can try and mirror their success with what remains.
Flash moving over towards Aura. He's on the south side. They're kind of fighting for nothing on this one as well because they need to leave at some point in the near
भाई
future.
जोन में देख रहे हो गॉडल जोन में है
Jiggle.
अपना जोन है
The damage. Flash still got bows in the back line here, lining up a grenade inside the warehouse. Hard to pop these off the wall though because of all the concrete inside. Godlike though.
बढ़िया
giving
चलो
him
चलो
shimmer
चलो
red
बढ़िया
force.
लेट्स
Tizzy just lets him run straight into the barrel.
God damn. Shotgun straight to the cranium. Blows him away. Godlike clap back upon from Schweppes in the distance as well. Gets an angle onto him.
इन पे जोन अच्छा था
This is
यार
looking tiresome for both teams. I mean, Nonshin down to just the duo. Godlike with only one man left remaining. And Alula, they've seen the blood in
Pubg
the
और
water.
Godel
They
दोनों
want to see
one-man
if they can
standing
roam over. They smell potential points here.
लक
Why not? Honestly,
यस
grab what you
ये सब
can.
चेक करते रहो
Alula sends up
ये सब
Yasser.
अभी एक्टिव है
Longshin Red Force has not got the reset online at all. Still priming nades upstairs. There's going to have to be a big hole. Tizzy on the outside. Luckily that Molotov is not on target. Tizzy's just going down. What are we doing?
Mate, this is nutty out there. Tried to drop off the top of the rafters, spamming the shots. It's all
क्या हो गया जमीला बेन
Tizzy just panicked.
why you
I think
feeling
so.
like
He
that
just kept the res in, bro. Drop the smokes,
Psycho
get
bhai.
the reses. They missed the first molly. At least challenge the res. Goodness me, man, you're going to go down to a perfectly placed Molotov here from
Okay.
Alula. I mean,
कोई बात नहीं
hats
streams
off to these guys. They currently
Exams
control the
भी
entirety
ज़रूरी
of the
है।
northern side to themselves. Irina looking to put up
But
another good
time
point
निकाल
here.
के आना
Aurora playing with our
Like करना,
hearts
chat
right now.
करना। Mind
Opening up
press
with
करने आना।
maybe a gargantuan game. leading them to believe it is possible once again for Aurora.
AK ने knock दिया नेट से, बढ़िया.
Might have been a bit quiet in terms of the overall aggregate elims we've seen.
Aru ne bhi
it's a team that can deliver with some consistency late game. They've got nades as well. Oh, the red
finish नहीं आ रहे यार. Aru knock हुआ, flash.
For them, a little bit of deployable cover will make all the difference. Turney K in the back trying to keep
Flash
his
with
eyes
third
on
party
what's going on, but if you flick to the elim feed, you can see Docs doing damage. The scalpels come back out for Aurora.
करूँगी try. Yes, yes.
But Aurora now on 14 elims. They might be able to lap.
Points क्यों नहीं आ रहे? अरे finish नहीं आ रहे ना. Aru गया. Last man ये बचा है. AK बचा है. OG से.
Top was able to steal it. But for OG, they live a lot longer than expected.
Zero
eliminations, they will not get a huge amount off this game other than the placement points involved. AKOP
out of zone
has to move soon, might just end up denying the point here. Reefus spraying in, has 217 bullets as well, so they have had a lot of loot crates to pursue and peruse.
Just Aurora to run the clock down on this one as long as possible. See if he can deny it out to the blue potentially. Because if he goes running in there, that's just another point for Aurora.
He's trying to get an extra placing on this one, but I don't think anyone else is going
to निकाल दो ऐसे ही अच्छे लग रहे थे.
He's mistimed it. Yeah.
अरे वो तो मैंने ऐसे ही थंबनेल वाला पहना.
यार
कोई बात नहीं, फर्स्ट गेम है. पहला गेम है, कोई बात नहीं. Shyco भाई ये पॉइंट्स का एक्टिवेट नहीं है क्या? पॉइंट्स का एक्टिवेट है, वो हो जाएगा. अच्छा मेरे स्ट्रीम के वो सब एक्टिव है, वो थोड़े टाइम में एक्टिव हो जाएगा खुद. अभी बताओ किसका चिकन आ सकता है, गेस करो. अरोरा, निग्मा, उला, फ्यूरिया.
Up in top 3, a rocky group stage for them.
Furia तो बिल्कुल नहीं आने वाला, one man standing है.
I do attribute some of that to Coops. He is a nut.
Okay, ठीक है, ध्रुवी. Thanks for joining. आप आए वही बड़ी बात है.
King Cooper for this team, bro.
Bye bye. Thanks for joining.
With some of the plays he's making. He wants to slam down on the off-angle peak behind the vehicle here. Alila trapped, cowering. One by one, they eat the bullets and they fall. Huge step up for Enigma Galaxy. And enough time to fix their HP as well before any other fights are forced. The only solo player from Furia, he got just trapped in the ditch between our two teams that are going to scrap for the dinner. And top
Aurora ले गई भाई.
For an extra
मुझे लग रहा है.
Just instantaneous shots coming through. So we're down to Aurora. Reefer swings very wide here over towards the northern edge. And hold both positions.
Position देख रहे हो सबकी.
Make them very worried.
ले गए भाई.
A little bit of hard cover here, but it is outside the zone. Gonna wrap back, but at least got the info on side. Coops tries to hit the shots. Has to go for the reload here. Gonna go for another. As he passes on by.
कितना रैंक हुआ चिकू? अरे 2 गेम खेले थे, 3 गेम, उसमें भी -1 में पड़ गया. रैंक देखा नहीं. उसके बाद स्ट्रीम के लिए आ गया था. और अच्छा और ले गए. हाँ, अरोरा ले गई चिकन. पोजी है भाई, देख रहे हो? निग्मा 4v4 जोन का एडवांटेज है.
17 eliminations on the game. A teaser potentially from Aurora.
प्रॉपर 4v4 है.
Ooh, nice, just unreal.
It's greatly timed from Joel. The shrapnel hitting hard.
He knows.
Enigma.
He knows, Jackie.
Look at the lineup. Wants to get it behind the cover flare. Barely, but they bait him out enough. That's more chip damage. Coops on half HP.
पोजी इनकी बहुत सही है. और ले गई चिकन. हाँ, ये ले जाएगी. पोजी वो जो बैठे हैं ना एक दूसरे को देके.
Quite a bit of time for Aurora to reposition off the back of this as well, because both the front targets have been distracted. Discombobulated in the chaos.
ये शायद नेट गिरा के गया.
Harder for Aurora to get back into the circle. They also know the north side's free after that original rotate from Reefus.
7%.
Ralph had to go back up that angle. But they have all the knowledge in the world going forward here. They've opened up the full library on this game.
A lot of nades being baited out here by Coops as well. He's down to 2 nades and 1 Molotov. Ralph actually being isolated from his off-angle peek round the backside. That's half his HP gone. The vehicle
नहीं देगी भाई है.
One Blessing's got a little bit more cover to try peek off of, but no easy
अभी देखना है
rotation.
नेड कितने नेड्स खत्म है इसमें.
All the 4v4 here. Utility down to nothing on side of most of these players. It will just be a dry gunfight, and honestly, on top form, I do think Aurora beats them out on that. Coops and
फुट
Lord
के
though,
साथ
deadly
7%
duo.
yes.
Prime at the two nays. Doc is
रैंक
up front.
नहीं
Is
पता
this the Doc
सुमित
inning
भैया
once
देखा
again?
नहीं
Takes
क्योंकि
two
माइनस
nays.
एक पड़ गया था तो देखा ही
Just
नहीं.
will tank them. But there's two more coming, and I'm not sure he'll be able to do the same on the next. They both go wide. He's going to push forward into the smoke. We'll have to swing back, but one player goes down the back line. It is top.
Oh, Nigma. क्या बात कर रहे
Nigma
हो?
Galaxy is making this happen.
They're standing tall right now. They want to convert this one into a chicken dinner win on game one as
Doc
two
और
of
top
Aurora's
दोनों ना.
players buckle under the pressure. Ruthless falls. It's all
ले गई
down
भाई.
to the last man in Joel.
निगमा ले गई भाई.
Isolate the
ये
beat
क्या हो
as he
गया?
hits Lord
गेम ही
Heavy,
पलट
but
दिया
he's
भाई निगमा ने तो.
cut short. The Aurora is
बढ़िया भाई निगमा मारी.
That is insane. That is insane, Jackie.
भाई एक्सपेक्टेड ही नहीं था कि निगमा लेगी. निगमा ले गई. ये क्या बात हुई भाई?
Did say though, Aurora do like to choke.
चश्मा निकालो. निकाल दिया यार, निकाल दिया.
It was probably the most fitting head-to-head of two teams we could have.
Yeah.
Similar contrasted play styles, the way they split off, constant their 2v2s, the off-angle aggression, but I started to get worried, man.
बढ़िया निकाली भाई. चिकन निकाला
Charging
भाई.
in. Slight timing on the nades.
The docketing, dude. It's the docketing. It's
And
happening
Nick
again.
5, bro, just absolutely come alive on that one.
Yeah, wonderful stuff. Actually wonderful stuff. I still think Aurora played that game very, very well, though.
Aurora.
I think when you watch them in those moments, they are so clean on the shots here and there. I think it's just a little bit of a stumble towards the end there where you're trying to pull yourself out of those buildings. That is hard, getting back across the road. They don't have a huge amount of space to play with. Nigma Galaxy also has the high ground, so they set up well on this one. But yeah, good stuff from Nigma Galaxy. Again, Lord and Coops, though. That is a great duo. We're seeing a lot of fantastic duos be born here over at EWC and really spread their wings into these matches.
You can see him enjoying it as well. Ralph enjoying the celebration from the fans behind them there. Everyone in the arena popping
Yes,
off
अभी
with
इंडिया
Nigma
लेगी.
Galaxy taking game
वैसे अभी
one.
पहला गेम था.
Stay tuned for even more.
निगमा के फिनिशेस उतने नहीं थे. अरोरा के थे फिनिशेस. अरोरा के आई गेस 20 प्लस. वो 30 अगर उनका चिकन रहता तो 30 पॉइंट वो लेके जाते. यही चेयर चाहिए. पॉइंट्स टेबल आ दे तो बढ़िया निकाला भाई निगमा ने. लास्ट में जो कर दिया भाई उनके स्प्लिट का. और बताओ जमीला बेन कैसा चल रहा है सब? 70,000 की है. आपने देखा है क्या प्राइस? रुको मैं देखता हूँ. कुलजा सिम से. अरे ये नहीं भाई दूसरा. किसका था? सीक्रेट लैब का ना. शॉप सेल इंडिया में तो दे ही नहीं रहा. पहली बात तो $749. Oh my god.
It's my first time at the World Cup and it feels so good.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about your team, S2G. Let's talk about the preparation.
$749.
Were you guys, you know, preparing?
मजाक नहीं किया आपने. आपने सही बोला. 70,000 किया. अराउंड 70 ही पड़ेगा. क्या बात है. ये स्पेसिफिक वाइट वाली अगर आप लेने जाओगे तो 71,000 की पड़ेगी. इंडिया में 71,000 की पड़ेगी.
Well, S2G's run through the group stage was really good. Now we're in the finals. How are the team feeling? Are they nervous? Are they excited? Like, what's the vibe from the team right now?
They seeing me. My players are seeing me.
भाई ये कितना क्यूटी लग रहा है जो इसके शोल्डर पे देख रहे हो. भाई ने कैसे स्टिक किया है भाई. फेविक्विक से चिपका दिया है.
Momentum is a big thing in this game. take it all. But do you have faith in them? Do you think they can do this?
ऐसे ही बोल दिया था आपने ऐसे ही बोल दिया था आपकी बात सच हो गई बताओ
I really appreciate it. Enjoy the event and we'll see you later. Back to you guys.
Day number 1 in serious business here now.
Mino versus Let's Go Aina.
And what better way to start it off than I have
Mino and RY
from India to talk about what's happened so far as well as what may be to come. So of course I have Admino and I have Aru here as we have Godlike and of course Orangutan going to be representing from India. So I guess I'll ask you Admino first. You guys must have watched the survival stage. What did you think about the teams and gameplay overall from the survival stage?
देखा था
It was kind of
हाँ
passive, like the previous group were too much aggressive, or maybe they were one more chance, that's why they were aggressive, and this was a survival stage. But I think Tianba got the momentum, and the top 6 were expected, as we have decided already in the podium thing that we have a fun activity over there.
Yeah.
And I think Alula gave a little bit surprise, and I hope so they perform good in grand final also. But I'm hoping for Tianba to carry forward the momentum that they have already got in survival stage.
How about you, Aru? What did you make of the survival stage?
We tried to grab as many things as we could from the playstyles and the lobby structure to get a better understanding and to be able to predict.
गाइस 5 लोग देख रहे हैं जो लोग भी चैनल पे नए आ रहे हैं सब्सक्राइब कर दो यार
Obviously we don't really anyone, but yeah, there are
अनबिलीवेबल फॉर मी क्योंकि मैं सिर्फ अंदाजा लगाया था अरे आपका अंदाजा सच हो गया बताओ
not less. So yeah, we are confident coming to the finals and looking the survival stage. We know that when teams have like only one last chance, it's like they play more in pressure and yeah, that's it.
All right, so I wanted to actually ask a bit of a fun question since we've got 2 fantastic teams here. I'll start with you, Aru. If you had to take a player from Admino's team and add them to your roster, who would you pick and why?
S power
Maybe
मीनो लो
because he's
देख S power भाई
Okay. Same question to you, Admino. Who would you take from Aru's team and why?
ये
Alua insists because he's a good idea.
yes consistent IGL भाई
You think you're a good IGL? You think that's fair?
I don't know, I just work.
भाई है आरू भाई
Alright, so kind of final thoughts, final kind of look at the finals as a whole here. I'll start with you, Admino. What's your
भाई निगमा
expectations
क्या
for
ही
the
चिकन
final?
ले भाई
Obviously, it's an amazing lineup of 16 teams, arguably one of the best lineups of all time here at Pmwc. So how do you think your chances are here?
Well, I wouldn't be saying anything. I'll just prove it by performing over it.
Perfect. How about you, Aru? What are you thinking for the final?
I'm just here to play and enjoy the 18 games because I love this game. I don't want to feel any pressure or set unnecessary expectations from myself. If we are going to enjoy the game inside the game, then we are definitely going to perform well as well.
बात
Gentlemen,
सही
thank
कही
you
आरू
very
भाई ने
much for joining me and best of luck today.
enjoy करो बे
Thank you, Kalaris, for that amazing interview there
अरे
with
तो बोलो
Admino and
लो
none other than Aru. But it does end up coming down
लो बढ़ा दिया
to
उस टाइम पर थोड़ा कम कर
Aurora
दिया था
at the end. Even though Nick McGalaxy won, congratulations, Nick McGalaxy. I gotta give this team some props because we're
Aurora.
finally seeing the MVPs show up for that squad. But Nick McGalaxy,
भाई वो
proves,
अनएक्सपेक्टेड क्या ही
especially
चिकन
at
ले
the
गई
end,
भाई
what a
मुझे
surprise
लगा ही
for
नहीं
them
था
being able to come out with the win.
क्योंकि
It's so nice. Just in
अरोरा
my
का
notes, I
था
just have
स्प्लिट भी बढ़िया था
because that's
ना
all you
choke
gotta
कर दिया
say, really.
वो 1 by 1 नॉक होते गए
Confirm, yeah. See,
Confirm.
see that? Yeah.
I can't read that.
Yeah, my handwriting's not great. But Coops was awesome. I really love the jump that they're coming through throughout that game, right? They played on that edge side. They waited for their moment. They bided their time. And what I loved particularly here, Max, was their push onto EA was not
मैं आती हूँ
super
बाद में कुछ
aggressive. All
खाने
they wanted was space inside the
लेके
zone. They
आती
didn't go for that
ओके
full
लेकर आओ मेरे
push
लिए भी
and
एक
that
भिजवा
full
दो
clear of the team. They're just like, hey, we want some space. We're going to take it from you,
ठीक है
take a couple
मेरे
of
लिए
points
भी
as well,
एक
and then
आइसक्रीम
wait some more. I really liked that from them.
I have an idea, but this is just
I
pure
want
speculation. Maybe I'm
strawberry
reading too much
flavor.
into it, but I'm like, maybe they
Strawberry.
slowed down the final to E-Arena, hoping Al-Ula would go for a third party, and then they could let them fight each other and pick off the
Al-Ula
rest. I
सही
don't know if that was the actual reasoning, but it's how it
Okay.
worked out in the end, and because of that fight in particular, they get a 23
भाई अरोरा को देखो
tie
भाई
with Aurora
बिना
getting it.
चिकन लिए उतने
Place,
पॉइंट्स
and we
लेके
get
गई
just
है
pure aggressiveness
मैं बोला ना
right
इन्होंने
off the
फिनिशर
bat.
निकाला
This feels
17
like a
फिनिशर
PMWC finals, baby. As 3 teams were able to get 13 or more
Godel 4
eliminations.
point
Aurora with the 17. Tiamba started off hot as well.
Man, I did not like. I mean,
ओजी
you
के
know,
दो
we came
फिर
out of that survival.
अच्छा
It's
दोनों
just
प्लेसमेंट पॉइंट है
I
क्या
just love the fact fact, right,
Bye
I'm
bye.
just getting so excited, so passionate
for
here,
the-
that the fact that they carried on the same momentum that they had, I mean, it was exceptional from them. Obviously took the hot drop seriously, which, you know, shout out, love a hot drop taken seriously, and were able to capitalize and obviously recover the team. And this is, it's just a crazy storyline from them, from bottom to the top. And I mean, I'm so excited to see what they can do next.
Yeah, for Tiamba, they're looking to carry that momentum that we saw out of them in survival. Something that you actually enjoyed watching that game is the plan B, the adjustments that Tiamba was able to do, Max.
Because they had a great hot drop, right? I think it was, what, 9 eliminations after the hot drop? Absolute mad start for these guys. And then they start losing players. They want to go for the recall, which is usually Tinglong Garden. But then Hora, coming out of nowhere, looking to chase down the recall player, which usually is Eagle in Tinglong Garden. And Eagle instantly, instant response, seeing we don't want to go out to Hora. We're going to go for an Eastern rotation a bit out of their way. But by doing so, he gets the entire team back up, and they get 16 eliminations off the back of that. Eagle, definitely, maybe not in terms of elims, but the MVP of the game in terms of what he allowed his teammates to do this match.
Allowing the team to be able to come back, allowing the team to just be able to just be there for support. Allow the other players to just frag out. And for anybody that had Tiamba, Enigma Galaxy, or Aurora in your predictions, congratulations, because those teams have been performing quite well. If you haven't already, make sure you check out the EWC Play app. Go put in your predictions. You could end up getting some rewards there depending on what your predictions are. And no surprise here that it is Milu from Tiamba with the MVP once again. 8 eliminations. This man is just non-stop right now.
He is. You can't stop this man. He's just gonna go from better to better to better performance. Here we go, the head-to-head. You're seeing here 16 eliminations versus 17 of Aura. And if I'm not mistaken, Milu had at least 8 or 9 of those.
You know how you just had some notes and it was just Coops, just Milu. Man, this man's just chasing that MVP at this point.
He is. He absolutely is. QZZ, though, shout out to QZZ. That 1v2 onto the rest of Vitality. He was wiped out by Aura like seconds later, but yeah, some really, really good stuff there. There's a lot more players on the team than just Milu that are really fragging out.
I mean, I was wondering going to this, are we going to get group stage Chamber? Are we going to get survival stage Chamber? Clearly, with its opening performance 7, it is survival stage Chamber in the finals.
And we're hoping that that's going to be the case. If you're a Tiamba fan, you're going to be looking really happy. If you're a Fourth Rise fan, Fourth Rise, it's looking for a comeback here. Same with OG, but let's see what's going to be happening here on the second game of Pmwc at EWC 26 Finals.
Thank you, Seven. Great breakdown there, recap of what we saw on our screens live in Game 1 of Rondo. Starting to get a little bit louder in here, but Paris, I want to know, how loud can you get? Let's get some noise going!
It's a good crowd. It's a real good crowd here we got here in Paris. Supporting all their teams. I mean, the Enigma Galaxy crowd, they've been loud. We'll see if they can get louder. As Enigma Galaxy are doing fairly well here so far. It's really, really nice to see. I think, again, mad props to Coops. First of all, mad props to actually being here. The guy's dodged so many events at this point. Finally gets to play some matches. But yeah, the rest of the team's also looking fantastic. Ralph looking a little bit more reserved, I would say, in the gameplay, which is good to see. Holding those angles. I actually liked where he set himself up. It became a real nuisance. The big thing was, didn't immediately go down either. And I think a lot of times that's all he needs to do, because he knows the layout of the land. He knows where he needs to be playing. It's just sometimes he'll play those spots and then humble.
Chalo, next.
So he's just letting the rest of his team work those angles whilst he plays that off angle in a really, really strong and quite frustrating spot to deal with. But we're heading over to our angle now, so probably a little less action involved, a little bit more calm, chilled out as we head in towards the first portion of the day. Fury at last game did come down to Eagle once again.
Yeah. And honestly, mate, you know, normally I think you'd favour him in kind of positions like that, where if he had to step up as a solo, it's just how late in the game it was and how strong everyone else he was up against was looking, right? Uncomfortable position to be left in, but hey, they still squeeze some extra points out of it. So it's better than it could have been. For some of our other talented squads, they're far down the standings, but like you touched on, Rondo is Rondo, and now we get something a little bit more normal. Opening playing path established here, whole way down the middle.
Down on that eastern side, Yaz. Opening here for teams to move into. Gakra a little bit harder to get towards on that western side. North George well.
ये game अच्छा जाए, yes भाई जाएगा
Possible. It's just going to be a little bit more of a long approach on that one. Vital is just out early. I don't really ever mind the Kameshki split, honestly, over towards Stalber on that eastern side. You have a lot of position to loop. Most of the time you're not having a second decoy over here, so it's just a really good position to get set up in the early game. But man, Tiamba, we didn't talk about them too much at the end of that game, but there is definitely fire in those bellies today. Because to make that push, to make that decision, to just be like, let's have a straight fight on the central compound when we're playing Edge, I don't know what's gotten into them, but I love it.
It is so good. So many elims already, and they just go, I like the look of that position, let's take it off. I'll be having that. Fairly watery circle, mate. Starting off one of these. This has been a consistent trend, at least throughout Survival. We had quite a few very similar to this on our start. Obviously a little bit worse for Vitality with a late rotate all the way down from Stalber with their instant drop from the plane.
Yeah. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. A lot of the rotation tools will probably be removed as well. So it is going to be a long rotate for Vitality, you are correct. That might end up, or probably will end up, creating a little bit more of a passive game for them, a slower game for them. 4 thrives though, loving life. You know, they get down towards Ferry Pier, the yellow's on the eastern side, there's no one around here, it's chilled out, it's peaceful. You get yourself set up nice and early on one of the prior compounds as we head into zone 2. I think the scary thing about this one is it does eke in a little bit of Sosnovka, and there isn't a 0% possibility that this doesn't go down towards Sosnovka in the future. It still can. It could even center up around Bridge. Satan on our screens. You know what, the last game, first time I've seen Satan smile this tournament, by the way. Even when they win, he usually looks like something's gone wrong.
He enjoyed that one.
He did like that one. That was a nice win for him.
Yeah, they were chuffed to bits. And to be fair, it was great. You know, nice head-to-head. Two very talented squads. Lots of contrast of play styles. Galaxy proving that it was on the money today in that first game. So low on utility, but made every bit count. Can they keep it going though? You start well on Rondo. How does it look then moving in here to Arangao? Another chicken dinner, big placements. What are we looking at from them? That'll be a nice, I suppose, sort of litmus test of what the quality of this team's going to be looking like throughout the next 2 days here.
Ida. These guys kind of crumbled. They made the similar approach to Tiamba actually last game, but I think what Tiamba did very differently was they isolated the Vitality compound away from Aurora, whereas Ida kind of came from that north side and just sandwiched themselves. I thought that was a very strange play for Ida to make. I think most of the time, most teams would understand that probably don't want to place yourself between those two squads or those two buildings. They're very popular in that location on Rondo. But I don't think Ida done back. They had some really cool clutch moments, some super awesome 1v3s right at the end of the games. Like, they have what it takes to be a champion. But not like that. Or stop making silly mistakes.
Guys, जो लोग भी stream पे नया आ रहा है,
obviously we touched on Vitality going down kind of early into that one. Two other
Warden को
squads
दिखाते ही
that
energy है भाई, public में energy तो है.
Place to where they are in the standings right now would be both 4 Thrives and Godlike. Two teams that have got so much firepower.
Energy है भाई.
Even just individuals as well. Yeah. Falak gets some of that old 4 back out immediately, mate. You won't only see it, you'll hear it from the crowd.
I mean, he looked happy when I saw him this morning. They're ready to go. He's got a little shy smile on him as well. Quite like
it's cheeky.
He is cheeky. It is cheeky. But even when I was talking to him yesterday, he seemed like he was ready and raring to go. The rest of the team all looked happy. IQ is in high spirits, which is very, very good news for the team. Be able to give that advice and those crucial bits of information, where the team wants to go, how they want to play it out. You need all of your team to be happy. Though I am kind of worried about GodLike and Orangutan.
Okay.
Not because of gameplay we've seen so far, just because this is a finals at EWC. I think for them, it would be unwise not to say they're under pressure. I think if you're a fan of both these squads, and maybe today looks a little bit rough for them, I would caveat with that there is a tremendous amount weighing down on them right now, being in such a prestigious finals, versus some really damn good squads. I'm hoping they can probably get back into the run of it, like by match 3 potentially. But if it takes till tomorrow, I think that's fine as well. OG already still showing off that they have the rotations capability to make it happen. They got far into that late game. Not a lot of eliminations, that's fine. GodLike similarly, still that aggression in play. I like to see it, but maybe not where we really wanted it to happen during that game.
I think it's also for teams like that, Blank. For our other squads that were forced to play survival stage, you've had to consistently keep grinding and keep that form on the go.
Yeah, exactly.
You come out from your group in those top team spots, you get a few days off, but that does cool you down a little bit. And the thing that's changed is what's going on behind us. The energy in the arena, the noise, the hype. They're getting excited because 4 Thrives have made the play. That's IQ with an opening takedown. But that's the difference as well. You come back into this area, Blank. Sure, with the noise-cancelling headphones, they might not be hearing it, but I tell you what, they can feel it. The vibration. I know the floor is trembling under my feet, so it'll be the same down there on the stage for our players. And if you're trying to instantly snap back into that tournament-winning mindset after a few days off with all this going on, it might take a game to try and lock back in.
Yeah. I don't like that though, from Aurora. Because you can scout that a lot easier just by sending over towards the beachhead, having a look over towards Lighthouse and be like, okay, there's a guy up there waiting, try and check the girders. I always think it's an odd maneuver to try and just send someone, slingshot them across, and it's like, well, we know there's someone across there though, but you also just lost a player. Like, it's so early into the game, could have even just waited for zone 2. I'm curious to hear what the analyst desk has to say about that, because for me that's just not EWC, Pmwc potential. Right? That's not what that is.
Yeah, the trade of it, one player's life, one of your squad mates for an information play, economically, it's not the best trade on it. Especially if we see him get a good run out of this game. Goes down to an awkward fight. One player of difference, Blank.
Hell, I mean, even this circle right now, where it's down towards the eastern side, 4 Thrives knows that. This is prime time to go for bridge camps.
Yeah.
Like if this circle is further over towards the northwest, maybe you don't go for that type of thing. But I think this one, if you're Aurora, it shouldn't be a case of, oh, let's check if there's someone there. You should just know.
Devil's in the details. It paints a very pretty picture here for some teams. For Aurora, it results in 3 players alive in game 2 to kick us off. Flash also having 1 player knocked here. Zone crunching in. There you go, buddy.
Thought that this might be the case. On a circle like that, it's very, very awkward on these types of circles, and you can center up around bridge across both sides, which is super unfun to play. Because now this really could go back over towards Sosnovka way. I'm sort of expecting it to head towards the northwest, but for Aurora, they're stuck now. As are Alula. Alula's kind of considering whether we should take an eastern crossing or should we just play over towards the ridge side on the southern edge. It cuts out a massive amount of space though. So much water involved. So teams are just going to be sending towards Ferry Pier because there's safety in that location.
Vitality did thunderfoot their way down from Stolberg quite quickly, so you can see there amongst the rest
Guys,
of the pack, everyone else attempting to forge a path into the zone, knowing that play space will be very limited with a decent chunk of it cut out by the water and that bridge dividing either team from each other. Only 2 squads on the island right now are Alula and Aurora. We've got E-Arena on screen now. This is the POV of Joker. Tiamba though, taking the scrap towards OG. With God being hit very heavy. Trying to stay behind the trees, bro. Luckily still alive.
Yeah, great zigzag. Able to stay out of dodge there for a second. He was very close to going down. AKOP actually challenging this. But man, A-King has been making a name for the DBS, right? You know, there's a lot of nerfs that came through. S12K became the more popularized weapon. Despite that, though, A-King has been consistently winning these trades of it.
He's bringing it back in fashion. Seems like the Horror fans enjoying this one so far, getting quite loud there. You see the banner flying. Haru. Oh, going back in. Let's see what he can do with a DBS.
Haru ने knock किया. Oh, let's go. Finish किया.
Not ideal for his teammates though, as Joker strikes with a shotgun and Turney K outside. Another one falls.
Aru बचा
an
होगा.
orangutan, it all goes down to just Aru. trapped behind the bike sheds and laid out by Arena.
Arena
जोन में घुसते ही Arena
stepped up to the plate.
एक point आया.
Not worthy to sit around here with Arena, unfortunately.
time नहीं मिला
Some
ना
good shots to start there, but started to crumble slightly. Tony K came in like a demon though from the sidelines. I think WizGod was not expecting him to be so up close and personal. Aura played back here. They're over towards the pier itself. Fourth Thrives mirroring them over towards the eastern side. We are close towards our next circle now. Nigma Galaxy making me laugh at the moment, man. They're like, this circle looks horrendous.
हो रहा कि ऑडियंस तो भाई क्या ही चुप हो जाओ आई हमें
very looted.
बोला था नहीं ये जोन जाएगा यही जोन जाता है
And we're still
नेक्स्ट जोन ये रहे
with this one. Fourth Thrives looking good.
इधर से कट के इधर आ
Down towards the southern edge here. Vitality trying to confirm over towards that compound that sits towards
NTOG, yes, NTOG
I don't think that's a bad idea here. Gives you a lot of control of the Longwoods that sits around this area. Not sure what S2G is doing. I think we've got boats. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it seems like at least one boat in play there.
ये बोल रही हम तुम लोग लड़ो क्या हम आते हैं ध्यान से फाइट चलो बढ़िया फिनिश लिया
on his last leg, suffering a casualty there for the Tianba squad. It's a decent start, but GodLike have received one knock onto their roster. This is the establishment. You can see the fight here from the top down.
बस थर्ड पार्टी ना आ जाए
Easy with a nade into the ditch. Manya very low, but backpedals into safety with cover to play with.
First nade goes long here. As Power holding down the fortress. Keeping that
तीनों चले ना एक बार मोमेंटम आ जाए GodLike
takes a fair bit of damage here, but he's refusing to move. Manya will reinforce the front gates. Actually, he goes for a swing by, try and get some information on that. So Eagle's going to move round, understanding the position has been compromised.
Slowly trying to take some space back. Faint smoke wall goes up. Ooh, only gets worse for Aurora as well. And that's quick from Alula finding them. This was the other team that was on the island. There's now a third party that's joined them with that late rotation round from S2G. Looks like they did go back to grab the rest of the squad. Yeah, it was Kamikaze in the hovercraft. That's paid off for them to fight towards them. Interestingly taking the hit over as well to GodLike. So that battle turns into a third party fight.
GodLike की fight दिखाओ भाई.
For GodLike there, quick swing around. Take shots over towards Ulf. For them, Ulf should be able to pick the players back up. They've got a good spot right now. It's not as safe as they might like it to be, but it is decently central. It feels like the circle's peeling away from Sosnovka at this point.
Finish नहीं आया यार.
They have very limited space to work with. Alula trying to make the cross. S2G, Hamzi at distance. Will find a shot over towards Aurora there, leaving them at 0. Out of the game early, 23 points is where they'll end. On a single point earned on this one.
So a great start on Rondo, but a bitter taste left in their mouths off the back of the Erangel performance.
These guys have been playing the same game. I think this is the first time they've been inside the circle since the beginning. How does their entry work actually? How are we still on the bridge?
Yeah, this is kind of unreal.
We're still here. I mean,
भाई ये जो आइलैंड दिया है ना,
I cannot believe this.
इसमें तो कोई जाने की गलती भी ना करेगा.
Aluna also took another casualty from S2G on the backside, so they've called it quits and actually rushed over the bridge now into the mainland. Yeah, that's only a trio blank. Damage onto Yatta as well.
Oh, Nigma Galaxy might try and trade up. They're just in. They're just in. They're absolutely playing a different game at the moment. I mean, I'm glad finally there's some shots that go towards them now. This is such a wild play from Nigma Galaxy.
या तो वो पीछे से निकल जाए.
Hell of a lot of damage. Slowly careen it back in towards his team. And lock it down.
Guys, 5 लोग देख रहे हैं. जो लोग भी स्ट्रीम पे नए आ रहे हैं भाई, लाइक कर दो. चैनल को नहीं किया सब्सक्राइब कर दो यार.
Flashes dash with Gal now. I mean, that's 3 eliminations potential there for them, but they're worried about these sidelines at the side. Furia. Ooh. Go on.
हमारा फिनिश चोरी हुआ भाई.
Give it some welly.
मीनो ने जो नॉक दिया था उसका फिनिश चोरी हो गया. ये क्या बात हुई भाई? Tianba निकल गई, चलो नाइस। ये अरीना के साथ फाइट है। गॉडल के पास मौका है थर्ड पार्टी का भी और जोन जाने का भी, दोनों।
King gets a little bit high octane as he charges through the ground floor. Nade on the stairs. Mormon's cooking one of his own to bounce down.
आई थर्ड पार्टी करने आई।
Getting involved with the fight. That's Manya just outside the window. Big Papa pump in his hands. So many teams crunching in.
Yeah, good Molotov here, but really good timing from GodLike as they move into this one, just leaving Aching alive here for Tiamba. Arena on the upstairs with the 4v2v1. Really good stuff. I mean, this is a good entry point coming through for GodLike, and they understand if they get rid of two teams, they're going to be opening up a lot of space down here. Edmino.
भाई सबके सब बचे हैं यार।
High HP
Manya knock.
Manya finally does fall here to a nade from Mormon. Tiamba goes down.
क्यों ना जैब हो जाएगा, इसी रहेगा। बस ये कुछ ना।
Smoke on the stairs.
नहीं फिनिश करने आ रहे।
The turnaround, Mormon saying feed me more as GodLike charge into him. Quick decision but not fast enough on the mantle.
चल बढ़िया 100 में पावर ने 3 फिनिश 2 फिनिश यहाँ लिए। वाह नाइस 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 नाइस। 100 में 1 मैन स्टैंडिंग। भाई मेरे एंड से नहीं है, उनके एंड से, मैं पहले बता दूं। सबका स्ट्रीम
from Mormon, the speed, the velocity, straight in there, no qualms. Now Vitality finally just come over towards the dregs. The funeral's almost over. Can Salme stay alive?
मेरे एंड से तो कुछ है ही ना।
As the sole participant.
The Vitality a victim from the top floor. Or will they just be signing their death warrants on entry? Axel being shot in the back. A new challenger arrives. It's Hora in the distance as Jiggle is able to punish and soften them, leaving them with 3 players left. Sume still just guarding the stairs with a nade pin pulled. He's going to go down. Razak on a dive around the corner. He wants to punish him with a shot. He will find it.
Really, really good job from Razak.
4 points enough. Enough क्या बोले? 4 पॉइंट आए ना इस गेम से।
Revive, get some respite.
यार वो दोनों जो
location.
मीनो और मानना।
So Razak goes for the risky play to keep them up as 4, understanding they need that amount of players to push through the next couple of compounds. They got Aura in front of them and 4 thrives after that. Alula down towards the south side. Circle finally moved away. Still a lot of water.
अभी किसका चिकन आएगा?
Ida as well as Ulf now going at it. Play from Ulf downstairs is knocked. They have 4 players up though right now. This is very easy to recover from. Well, it should be.
Whoa, you run straight into that one. Catching the
Hora का चिकन जोन दिखाया ना एक बार ये।
It's good damage, but such an awkward setup between both of them. Casualties on either side. Scarface looking to go for the pick-up play. Meanwhile outside,
Wolf ने अगर इधर खाली कर दिया तो इनका जोन आ ही रही है, थर्ड पार्टी आ ही रही है।
Takes that one.
Nongshim could push this pretty quickly. Ulf is not looking too good right now. Neither is Vitality.
Vitality
flipping into action.
यहाँ भी फाइट है भाई।
Razy and Razak try and get the buggy through the window, but end up dismantling through.
क्या आज फेडरलिस्ट फिर वही दिखाएगा?
That was a speedy road that I like that. You know, cut your losses. Moving through Aura as well as 4th rise is going to be hard. And eventually you get third pie by one of them. You hear the engagement happening on the north. You send it. Now Wolf is in a very tricky spot. Cut between 2 strong teams in Nongshim as well as Vitality.
Quick decisions and shades of the Vitality that we were so impressed by prior. Once again, back on our screens, it's only the 1 elim they've been able to garner so far. But they are licking their lips at the prospect of so much more.
Godal अभी मस्त बैठी है अभी।
Getting a little bit more here, you get yourself the Naruto skin in-game as well as the Ninetales Fury Org. Both looking very cool here. Ulf's going to hopefully have to drop a substitution jutsu here to try and get out of this one because it is going to be hard. Vitality, Razak move up, quick shots over towards Souls. He tries to move around the corner. Nongshim still in play. They're the ones getting the most of the damage though. Federales at least will confirm one. Quick switch around the side, denying some of the sight lines. As Ulf does go down. Vitality though, they've been hugging the wall so far. Not allowing a single moment for Nongshim Red Force to try and challenge that spot. Razak though, what are you doing? Testing the waters, a little bit hot.
Yeah, did not like the feeling of that one. Although maybe he wants to go for it from a slightly different approach. Runs back out. Meanwhile, attention turns onto Federales, and that is another knock going the way of Nongshim. Oh, Razak.
Oh, yeah, good shots.
He's got so easy, very low. Nade right on top of him as well.
बैठ के मस्त आराम से बोली तो बेटा लड़ो हम
with
लास्ट
the
में
instantaneous conversion. Now it's a raw 3-on-3. Luckily they will save Federales, but he's got to top himself back up.
I mean, Razak understood the idea. Now tries to get up towards the wall, create a different angle to deal with. Nongshim was quick to it. Hyunbin pushing up right now. It's a little bit close for comfort here. But I think they know they want to get rid of this guy sooner rather than later, but he has pulled these kind of antics before, getting a little too aggressive without the help of the rest of the team. So easy goes down the back lines as Flash starts to move on through.
Tizzy tries his might, rapid shots coming out, but not enough to finish Vitality. The end of Nongshim Red Force, but it does leave Vitality slightly weakened, and Flash, they are next in line to try and keep them pinned here, knowing eventually they'll have to move. Slightly paranoid about the other teams that could be behind them.
Blue is ushering Vitality forward, swinging in on the same angle as Flash. How will they make this work? S2G, you were right. You were actually right. They had two hovercrafts in play. Being able to keep both of these alive all the way through to this endgame is giving them a lot of pressure. Loss isn't quite able to get it up though. And the hovercraft is stuck on the side.
Yeah,
just about. We'll take it. I mean, that, they're just letting it happen. Come on, bit more gas.
Got to give it some welly.
His
teammates taking a fair bit of damage, but with that added armor of these big hovercrafts in play. If you say like this, man, if you can get them into the zone, there could be a lot you could do with it late game. I'm surprised the Lula have been able to guard this for so long, make it look uncomfortable. Nade after nade as well, just trying to soften them up.
Vitality do move over to the side. They're looking down over towards fourth rise. The shots are pouring in. S2G, they brought repair kits as well with them. But the blowtorch in play, I mean, that's on fire. Get out. Falak down. Aura, no fear. Drops them all up top side. Looks fairly decent on that one. Airburst are slightly too far. This is some comedy. Not gonna lie to you.
Okay, they should be able to clean up from here at least. As long as there's not any more mistakes. It's damage done onto Solkay, but they do hold on. Shut down Alula.
What was that?
Bit of a weird one.
It was a weird one. I mean, it is an important fight. It's just interesting. Vitality go down in the meantime as Flash continues to push the advantage. But it is majority of fourth drives doing that damage. Enigma Galaxy, after their strange approach from the early game, now going out slowly but surely. Just Ralph as well as Lord. Flash has been all over the place so far. Next circle will pull in stage 7. Fourth rights have been weathering
guys,
it though.
5 लोग देख रहे हैं जो लोग भी चैनल पे नए आ रहे हैं लाइक करो चैनल को नहीं किया सब्सक्राइब तो कर दो यार
playing off one another. Yes, they've taken some knocks here and there, but they've maintained a 4-man. They're in this area early and they understand better than anyone else. This is a game that they should be doing well on. I don't think I'd put as much pressure on and say this is a game they should win from the spot they had at the start, but it should be at least a top 5, which I think, you know, we've already achieved. So this is a good game from Fourth Rise and shows that they still have it in them.
And with them being able to have enough timing here to get IQ back up once again, the 2-2 split from them could still pay dividends massively. It's been a very elongated firefight between them and Hora, effectively just mirroring each other's movement up along the ridge into the zone. A little bit more split here, no fear in the back, trying to protect some Overwatch. Right, above you in the building as well. Meanwhile, that's an engagement over onto Enigma Galaxy. S2G, after moving in and cleaning out Alula, they head center zone, and they find the final blow there. Goodbye, Enigma Galaxy. S2G stealing points here, there, and everywhere.
Do we have to call this play the kamikaze from now on? Where S2G just launch him out like a rocket to center circle and leave him there on his own? This is the kamikaze. This is crazy stuff. The rest of S2G trying to regroup with him, but it's not likely. Kamikaze in play right now.
S2G के दोनों गए ना
hovercraft. Not really any other vehicles. Might need to regroup, pick it back up again. But Kamikaze, he's going to hold that spot. He's planted the flag, the S2G flag. T24 goes down, jiggle around the side.
Oh, Sleepy. Top side of the stairs, but you can't weather the storm as 4 Thrives arrives and the brain of the operation.
Confidence दबाई
The shotgun does damage. Falak there in the back line to assist, but no fear. Charging up. He's going to play last man, wants to run in now with the timing, see if he can shut them down. Falak charges back, can't do it.
क्या मारा भाई पूरा?
Quick switch to the primary. Gets himself onto an off angle. With one more play,
1v1 है, proper 1v1
he can take out 4.
ओह क्या बढ़िया भाई, बढ़िया 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 पूरा किया भाई. नो फियर ने भाई सही में नो फियर दिखा दिया. उसको डर नहीं है भाई.
Up against the world right now. DPS at distance. He's fighting all of them, but S2G falling in the meanwhile. No fear. There's a possibility of winning this if he wants to push out right now.
उठाना पड़ेगा जल्दी.
Get involved in the action.
भाई नो फियर मारा भाई. नो फियर दिखाया. उसका नाम नो फियर क्यों है भाई?
Right now he's going to top himself back up, play the slow game. That's Flash losing their last man there with Kamikaze continuing to punish.
Oh, kill चोरी गया. Nice.
Kamikaze's got a single nade in the back pocket if he chooses to dash it. They've got clear vision now. Peppering the bullets. This is it. Pulls the pin, looking to cook. Let's see if he can.
अभी भी S2G का कुछ भी हो सकता है.
Kamikaze looking for it now. A bit of splash damage.
S2G का चिकन
Not just there yet. Kamikaze keeps
Flash
playing the right location with the bullets.
जो कि रैप तो होने वाला है नहीं. पूरा उधर से मस्त लगा के देख रहा है नो फियर कि तुम नॉक दो मैं हूं उठाने के लिए. फ्लैश का
But Kamikaze is out and we're down to a 1 versus 1 versus 1. The outside
S2G भी क्या कर दिया इसमें? क्या होगा? 1v1 है भाई. किसका है चिकन किसका आएगा? मेरा प्रेडिक्शन है पूरा. तुम लोग बताओ guys.
No fear already picking up that big clutch. He's amped up as an
I'm
individual.
going with Hora.
Got a rough read on where he believes Soulk can be stationed, tucked in behind this
सब है, सब पे हल्का हल्का है.
I don't think he knows. I think he knows there's a team in that general
अगर
direction,
इसने देखा
know where No Fear is. Hamzy G finally goes down. I think No Fear has a rough idea that he's playing on this.
Hora ना.
मेरा भी उसी पे है. Watching both of them.
ये ओपन में दोनों तरफ से खा सकते हैं.
Double clutch up versus 4 Thrives into the last 2 teams. Zeus is just pushing forward. Instant spot though. Over towards No Fear. And now Zeus with all to do here. Flash who had swept
proper 1v1 की fight.
Soulk, the last to fall potentially here versus Team Flash.
Zeus. The lightning reactions for Flash have guaranteed them a 2nd place, but can he take it to 1st, or will Soulk get it done for S2G? A smoke wall.
भाई थोड़ा जोन भी दिखा दे भाई. मैप दिखा दे थोड़ा सा. Flash जोन में नहीं है.
He's going to make his move. Starts charging in, wants to close the distance. Here's the peak.
S2G का.
Zeus so low. Buckles under the.
बढ़िया भाई इन्होंने जो होवरक्राफ्ट से लिया ना. बढ़िया चिकन. बट अभी पता है ये 3 पे लेते. इन्होंने एक बार 40 करी. कोई बात नहीं. चिकन लेके साफ कर दिया वो 40 को.
But Soulk steps up, a lad that's been in the esport for the longest of time. He's still got it in him.
Feeding the crowd energy. A celebration in unison for the nation as they pop off on that one. S2G locking it down and everyone's living it up.
And it's all in the name because it is all gonna be okay at the end of the game for S2G. Then a lot of confidence coming into this one. They look good on the stage. They look good in the game. Is this the S2G comeback that we were looking for?
Aggression, confidence, some brilliant gun skill. Showing us a lot of the moves we needed to see on that one. A smart rotation from start to finish as well, playing by their own rules, Blank.
I think the thing for me is just, man, 2 matches so far, they have been both electric. I mean, this shot from Zeus.
Oh, the quick reactions, dude. That sent me.
His eyes must be going 2 different directions, man. He be seeing everything.
He was so locked in.
इसमें सबसे ज़्यादा points किसने निकाले?
I don't even know how he clocked him.
सबसे ज़्यादा तो मुझे लग रहा है
lightning flash reactions.
ये अरीना पे 2 स्पॉट आए.
So good.
ये अरीना हाँ ये अरीना के पास सबसे ज़्यादा.
They were involved in everything. I think Horror. Honestly, for them, yes, a tough fight versus Forthright, but you got to be happy with the way that No Fear clutched up there. That is an incredible finish of those guys. Yes, Horror had a good spot on the sidelines, but it's so many teams constantly pouring in, cycling out time and time again. I don't think that was an easy game whatsoever.
And you can feel it looks a little bit different with this lobby compared to what we had in isolation.
Why you sad, right? Baby?
Yeah.
Everyone's so much more quick to the punch. A lot more early contact. And it feels like sometimes we were seeing maybe a bit too much respect for the big dogs. Now everyone's playing on the same level. Feels like we're all in equal footing here. And they're giving it their best. It really has changed the dynamic. But let's get down and hear from Kalaris himself on the stage about what they have to say.
Thank you very much, Jackie. Yes, you can cut the tension with a knife here at the moment for our first 2 games. And I'm here with our winners from game 1, of course, Ralph from Nigma Galaxy, to talk to about them. Some of the games that have happened so far. So let's talk about that first game in that late game against Aurora there. What was your anticipation as a team? Did you think Aurora had maybe moved a little bit earlier? Or talk to me about the late game and what you guys were experiencing.
I mean, we didn't really know. We didn't have much info. But we just played it slow. We took our fights that we need to take, and we just secured the win at the end.
I mean, it looks good at the end, right? Of course, getting that many points off of a Rondo. Not a bad start at all for a grand final like this. That second game, a bit harder, I think.
Yeah, second game was a bit harder. I mean, we have a team hot dropping us, but they're scared to fight. I don't know, they're camping. So we'll see next games what they do.
I was going to say, were you surprised by that? Because it was in the back, we were a little surprised that they were going to come your way. As we've talked about multiple times, it's your territory. So what are they doing?
They know we won't change, so they're just wasting their time. And they're coming to fight, but they don't want to fight. So I'm really confused right now.
All right, well, thank you very much for joining me here, Ralph. You heard it out there. Ida, he's got his eyes on you.
Name's Blank, and I've had 4 coffees, and
I'm
Aurora ke saath right now.
I'm Hot Jukes. I just had a massage, and this is my reaction time.
Let's get it.
ये क्या खेल रहे हो भाई तुम लोग? भाई बाहर में जो गोरे लोग होते हैं, गोरे इन द सेंस कि वो लोग जो होते हैं आई, वो लोग भाई सब टैटू कराए रहते हैं, सब के सब. ये फिर भी जीत जाएगा मुझे लग रहा है. ये तो मेरा वाला भाई है भाई, एकदम ऐसे ही मैं अभी मौज में रहूं कौन.
Yes, my reaction score is pretty damn good. I actually don't think it has something to do with anything else or anything like that. But what about you, Jukes?
थक गया ब्रो.
I don't care.
ऐसे ही मैं भी थक जाता हूँ, मैं तो बिना कुछ करे थक जाता हूँ ब्रो. क्या बात कर रहे हो? वन पीस. मांगा लाइब्रेरी है भाई, वहाँ सीधा जाओ निकालो वन पीस. क्या मतलब ये हिंट भी हो सकता है कि नेक्स्ट पबजी मोबाइल का कोलैबोरेशन वन पीस है, क्योंकि वहाँ लाइब्रेरी उसकी देती मीन्स भाई ये सेट बहुत प्यारा है, ये फीमेल सेट बहुत प्यारा है।
S2G in hovercrafts. That is like
भाई पहले तो मुझे वहाँ लगा कि वो आगे ना दे भाई क्योंकि
before we break down that second match here in finals, don't forget that we do have the fan experience that you can check out here at EWC. Make sure you go check it out. You can check out the new mode Brain Rot Royale, check out the collaboration right now the Pubg move is doing with Naruto, and so much more. And you can win some really cool shirts, which actually we've been wearing them. Not right now. I think Jukes does have one on, but you'll be able to check out so much stuff. Yeah, check out that still Brain Rot. I mean, Brain Rot Royale. I've been playing it. I think I got to level 7. I've seen people being able to get to level 11. I gotta grind some more.
Wow, 7 got 7.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yes. Gotta keep it on brand, baby. Now that's it. I'm not gonna be playing it anymore. But S2G, Jukes.
Bro.
My goodness.
Oh, dude, that double hovercraft play right there, TN, was absolutely insane. They were able to take out Aula in a very nice way. And then just, I like to see that they kept one player there, right by the water, behind the hovercraft, just in case. And he was able to clutch it up at the end and get that chicken dinner. Finally, an S2G win, and nice and early.
Yeah, really nice. And the momentum they were able to pick up on after, getting those hovercrafts. Very quick side note here, while we're on this fight, 4 Thrives are looking, I hate to say it, very shaky. I don't know what happened because group stage, they were looking really, really solid, just not able to get that win. Here, the splits are kind of off. They're pushing one by one. They're not really communicating, it feels like. So the last 2 games, I've not been super impressed with them, but hopefully that changes in the next game.
And for 4 Thrives, I felt like it took him way too long, Niptura, to engage the fight there with Hora, just coexisting for too long, and No Fear came in clutch with that 1 versus 2.
He really did, and he continued to come in clutch for a lot of the game. Actually, he was a big part of the team this game.
Yeah, I just think he just made a big play. I mean, what can you do against that? When No Fear comes up and clutches it up, I mean, Aura fans are screaming these guys' names at the top of their lungs, and to be able to clutch it up like that is just huge. So yeah, unfortunate for 4 Thrives, huge for No Fear.
Another team that has been performing quite well today when we talk about eliminations has been none other than Nongshim Lace. This was the biggest feedback that we gave this squad during groups and also survival, and they're finally starting to put up those eliminations. As you can see, Nongshim Red Force right now with 9.
Yeah, absolutely 7. I mean, they're finding important fights on their rotation.
हमारे मैचेस अभी थोड़े अप एंड डाउन जा रहे हैं बट ठीक है
and now I do want to kind of segue into Furia and to why I need to highlight this.
एक गेम का तो बात है एक अच्छा गेम सीधा देखो बोला ना वही ओवरऑल पॉइंट
rotate on Rondo. We actually saw them grab utility, move into zone.
नहीं हो रहा अपने वालों से होगा ब्रो होगा.
Actually made a good point about this when NGX
संचित वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम की हालचाल लाइक कर दो बड़ी
next to E Arena.
अभी भी एक गेम का तो बात है भाई एक गेम में पूरा टेबल पर है.
That fight, they would have had control over that whole entire side because they just sort of stopped the revive from Ulf. Then again, on this map, they found themselves in the position, and Nongshim from the northern side just obliterated their defense. This is just unusual for Furia.
भाई होरा की ऑडियंस है भाई.
Getting a goddamn vehicle and shooting out the window and making that position them. It's just unusual.
They're all right. They are supposed
BGMS देखने भाई इधर देखो इंडिया को देखो भाई BGMS तो भी बहुत लंबा चलेगा.
I was mentioning too, Nongshim is putting up those eliminations, but something happened at
होगा वेट MBS होगा. एक गेम का तो बात है भाई मोमेंटम आया.
It was a little bit, it was a bit.
भाई यहाँ पे मुझे seriously लगा S2G हक देगी जो इन पर push किया ना इन्होंने. कि कहीं इनकी अगर गाड़ी फटती भाई.
Look how they're gonna play this. It's like my driving. First of all, yeah. Secondly, look how they take
निकलता knock खाता.
And they deny the sight lines of Aula.
जैसे वो knock खाया इधर से अगर वो निकलता तो knock लेकिन knock दे दिया था.
They can no longer play as a duo. They try and get as many of those sight lines abolished as possible with those hovercrafts. And to be honest,
overall
SGG
match
with those
time
hovercrafts
दिखाओ
have
भाई
been
जल्दी
actually
से
insane. It feels like because they take more damage to explode, and they have just a tank, and so they are able to just run with it. They were making crazy rotations from the very beginning of the game. They had those positions on the rocks in the middle of the water, which are normally inaccessible. But having 2 hovercrafts, I wonder if other teams are going to start picking up on that, because that was an insane game from S2G.
I mean, we've seen it happen in the past too. And you just sounded like Max there for a second. I was going to have to double check to make sure it was Michael Natura Jackson or if it was Max. But we're looking at the overall ranking here. Nigma Galaxy is currently in first place with those 26 points. Aurora, top. What happened at the top of that bridge? That man ended up falling down, and he actually ended up hurting Aurora with the rotation.
एक बार मुनुष हाँ ना
Yeah, it's so unfortunate there. I mean, that's what it's all about. You know, you're trying to be able to get into that end game and make
Yes,
those plays.
Sumit, I agree with you.
You know,
ज़्यादा पॉइंट का डिफरेंस थोड़ी है अभी तो 2 ही गेम है 26 पे टॉप वाली बैठी है एक 20 पॉइंटर्स का 15 पॉइंटर्स तो इजी है एक 15 पॉइंटर्स ले लिया खत्म कहानी
just look at the elements.
Yeah, I mean, look at that 18 eliminations, and they would have gotten even more if it wasn't for those clutch plays from Vitality right there, because we saw absolute Hyunbin in action making some serious plays.
GodLike 8 पर है
again, super clutch moments here.
एक 15 पॉइंटर आया सीधा टॉप 3 बैठेगी OG 3 पे OG का थोड़ा 2 गेम चाहिए
It's only 2 games, but there is some things that we're starting to notice here, especially with 4 Thrives, the passioners that you were kind of talking about earlier, Neptura, as well as OG. OG needs to start being a little bit more aggressive and making sure that they look a bit more cohesive when you are being aggressive, because they were pushing 1 by 1. It seems like a chicken without its head.
Yeah, it really did, and also they're losing players very, very early
फाइट
on.
जरूरी है भाई पैसिव क्यों वन एक नहीं आएंगे अरे आएगा ब्रो देख पहले तुम देख रहे हो कि कैसी लॉबी क्या देख रहे हो दिखते हैं जैसा वो 4 मैन उनका भी प्लानिंग होगा भाई वो एट ग्लोबल स्टेज पे कुछ नया ट्राई कर रहे होंगे जो नई वर्क की होगी तो वो बैक टू बेसिक्स चले जाए कुछ भी हो सकता है हर इंसान ट्राई करता है कि वो कुछ नया ट्राई करे क्या पता नया ट्राई करने से कुछ अच्छा है बट कई बार वो चीज फेवर में नहीं आती इसलिए ओजी के साथ तो पिछले गेम लाइक ही बोल रहा हूँ क्या ही था इधर फाइट हुई एक मैन गए जहाँ गए वहाँ की अरीना बैठी
like that one. Now this is the group of death. This is the group of death, and this does feel like a finals right now with the way that some of these teams are playing. One man that I know is happy because he ended up picking that team that was in the top 3 here, none other than Team Flash. Max Man
अरे अपन मारेंगे ना पैसे बाकी लोगों को देना
पड़ेगा.
Yes, वही बात है अपन जब मारने लगे ओजी गॉडलाइक टीम अप कर ले अरे नहीं रे ऐसा थोड़ी
very very serious indeed, but of course we take a look at how things have gone down so far here in these 2 games, and we
guys 7 लोग देख रहे थे थालो फॉर रीजन रोंडो में अरे क्या ही करेंगे रोंडो में टीम अप करके
I saw the hot drop that could happen on the map before this event. I'm like, they're not going to go for it because Nigma Galaxy has been dropping in Pachinki before I was even born. And yet a team is trying to contest it away from them. And as you said, they go for the hot drop, but they're not fighting and very confused, and they just see the loot.
और वहाँ जो बैठे ये जो बैठे और इतने 50-50 हजार का ये जो लगा रखा है ये फ्री के लगा रखे हैं ना उन्होंने कोई नहीं सुनने वाला कोई नहीं दिखने वाला क्यों भाई स्पोर्टमैन स्पिरिट है भाई
they've already alluded to it on the desk and how things have gone down so far for S2G.
No team
but just masterful control of the double hovercraft, some crazy plays, and the send out of Kamikaze to be able to make that work. For S2G, that was very, very impressive.
Yeah, it's just a domain expansion double hovercraft. I'm sure you get that reference right there.
But
no, great use of it, especially you saw there in the during a little bit of a replay.
भाई तू क्यों चिंता कर रहा है भाई हमारी वो टीम है जो पहले 30 पॉइंटर लेके आई है 30 का बॉम्ब अभी भी ला सकती है डे 1 है अभी 2 दिन है और डे 1 अभी खत्म भी नहीं हुआ अभी 4 मैचेस बाकी है ब्रो आता हूँ थोड़ी देर ओके संचय
we're having kind of conversations in the back about this is a military island kind of heavy team, and yet the bridge seems like a conundrum to them that can't solve like a Rubik's Cube.
It was a bit weird, especially because Top was on top of the bridge itself. And I think a player 4 Thrives got an angle onto him, so he goes down. kind of drops to his death at that point, right? And then the team tries to go and back up and hopefully get him back up on his 2 feet. But then Al-Ula were very sneaky, pushing right behind them on the bridge. I think Aurora, they're very experienced on that Western bridge. We should be expecting more on the finish like this.
हाँ ना ये हुआ तो भाई देख next match
but the next triangle they need
अगर ये हुआ ना भाई crazy हो जाएगा Godel 4v4
to the commentator team once again for game number 3 of the finals. Let's do it.
Let's go. There we go. We'll pick up.
Wish kar do guys.
Thank you very much, James. There's a good arc on that one. Swift.
Godel
Great elbow on you. You can tell
England
he
team
used to be a
अच्छा
drummer, but we'll be beating the drums of absolute anticipation
कोई
and
chicken लेके
excitement here,
आए
Blank.
chicken ना आए
As our
अच्छा
third
game जाए
game of
बस
the day is
और game
about to get underway.
फिर win-win yes
well.
फिर win-win भाई ऐसे रखो सो जाओ क्या बात है
I mean, even from watching the desk to watching the stage hits to watching the interviews.
भाई ये चिया माया कुछ तो लिखा है उन्होंने.
There's been a lot going on. 4 tries on the first game, having a little bit of a misstep, and then coming to the second one, looking a lot better. But so many good scenes. I'm very confident to say this is about as competitive as it gets in PUBG Mobile right now. I think we have the right teams here with us. We go into our 3rd match of the day as we get towards our halfway
भाई इन्हीं का मैं बोल रहा था आप दिखा दो जब दोबारा दिखाएंगे तभी दिखाऊंगा अभी नहीं.
Shooting range to start off down towards Novo. Straight through the center, really easy.
Novo से शुरू होके किधर जाएगा?
I think most people
सेवरनी वाला है या फिर
Aurora last game, like you said before, looked a little bit
power मारने.
Even Max picked up on. He was saying that hey, the team's very experienced around this area of the map, should not be going down so early like this. It should be a game.
भाई तुझे देखना है इधर. अरे भाई क्या बात है सुजीत भाई वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम भाई लाइक कर दो क्या देखना है तुझे ये बता अभी अपनी टीम इंडिया है भाई लेट्स गो गॉडल अभी तुम टीम इंडिया को देखो मुझे मत देखो अभी एक दिन आएगा जब मैं भी जाऊंगा लेकिन कोई बात नहीं आज इधर ही देख लो लाइब्रेरी में बैठा हूँ ओहो लाइब्रेरी में बैठा है
Only 2 added to that count. See Milu still living his movie though in terms of individual plays as he was popping
एक दिन मैं भी जरूर जाऊंगा बैट
was a big piece.
कभी ना कभी सपने में भी जा सकता हूँ लेकिन जाऊंगा जरूर.
We'll have something early here
इंतजार है. Yes bro.
Aurora.
बट इसके लिए ग्राइंड ही नहीं चल रही ब्रो. इसका ग्राइंड छोड़ दिया.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah, most circles have just been very
strange
so far, very
streaming के side.
We had a couple towards the end of survival stage, which I think I was quite grateful for.
सबको अपना अपना जोन मिल चुका है.
On Arangol at least.
Nigma फिर से
Nigma Galaxy versus Ida. No idea why this is happening, by the way. It's actually very strange. I'll explain once it's done. I mean, Kalaris already went over it in the interview, but the context is crazy on it.
निगमा के पास खोने के लिए फर्स्ट पोजीशन है और आईडी के पास खोने के लिए कुछ नहीं है. एक 16 पे एक टॉप पे देख रहे हो. एक के पास खोने के लिए फर्स्ट पोजीशन है. एक के पास अच्छा गेम है. निगमा ने बताया कि वो टॉप पे क्यों है और आईडी को बताया तुम बॉटम पे क्यों हो.
For context,
फूटी भाई देख रहे हो थर्ड पार्टी करने के लिए लेट के जा रहे हैं गाइस. 8 लोग देख रहे हैं. जो लोग भी स्ट्रीम पे नए आ रहे हैं लाइक कर दो चैनल को नीचे सब्सक्राइब तो कर दो यार जल्दी. निगमा ने बताया भाई कि हम टॉप पे क्यों हैं.
Sadly for them, 4th Rise feels like we can get some easy points off the back of this one. You guys just come off a fight. We know you've come off a fight. This is a great read from 4th Rise. I actually love this.
Oh, mate, didn't see him on the angle.
क्या ही बोलूं इससे क्या ही बोला जा सकता है.
So as much as there was a pop off of them defending their home turf on the hot drop, like you said,
ये तो भाई ये जो लेट के गया था ना भाई इनका एक बंदा पूरे ओपन में लेट के गया. निगमा के 2 मैन.
I mean, to be honest,
2v2 की fight.
You do wonder, 4th Rise boys, they see a big hubbub go over by the Nigma Galaxy camp and they're like, they've just won that fight.
We should get involved.
We should fly over. Oh, cheeky work, but you got to make the point somehow. Ralph the M249 looking for some good damage, but the shouts from the crowd start to ring out.
ये 4 आ गए. नहीं 3 आया.
4th Rise
क्या
back away from this one.
भाई उसको कैंपर क्या ही बोलेंगे
as well as Satan to live
जो भी
another
बोले
day.
छोड़ो हम इस पे
Circle
कुछ
did move up
नहीं
towards the
बोल
northeast
सकते
side.
भाई
I don't know what Eda's doing.
गॉडल भाई 12 पे है हाँ गॉडल 12 पे ओजी 15वें पे अभी एक अच्छा गेम भाई देख रहे हैं 12 में कितना ही पॉइंट चाहिए देखो एक अच्छा चिकन आया सीधा यहाँ 15 पॉइंटर चिकन आया सीधा यहाँ सेकंड थर्ड
Gigantic prize pool on the line. You fought this hard to be in finals. Don't ego challenge if you don't need to. But for 4 fives, can they find those elims they wanted off the back of this counter play? T24 spotted on the drop. Let's see if he can go for the
OG
peak
की
off
भाई
this.
OG की चल रही है भाई पीछे
You can get involved with that Naruto event at home.
40 up top. T24, he's got an inkling. Smells him out on this one. Senses his Reiatsu inside the building. Satan underneath. Ooh, slightly slow on the timing there. And T24 tries to use the DBS. He's swinging around in circles. Satan's not sure where to look on this. The rest of Fourth Rise will come into hold. Finds the first.
दिया भाई इसने बोला तू ले डीबीएस चलाएगा डीबीएस ये ले दिया
And it's an easy revive here on T24 inside the building. Church held.
Then get the revive back on T24.
चल 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 उसने ऐसा बोला चल 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 डीबीएस चलाएगा चल
You'd be furious.
Yeah, you'd be fuming.
You win it twice. You win the hot drop twice back to back. It happens again. It costs you a game. And not even because of them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's the thing. It just comes back to haunt you, right? Here we go. This is the full replay on it, so you get all the action. Oh, mate, it's carnage from the start.
हीडा को क्या जरूरत थी भाई हीडा को क्या भाई क्यों फाइट लिया उन्होंने ड्रॉप फाइट
We saw the celebration from
उनको पता ही नहीं हुआ
sending a message live in the event.
या तो विन या तो दैट वाला
They deserve the drop spot. But Eda don't want to give it up, and it's just really making it uncomfortable for both of those teams to get anything in these
Map
games.
दिखाओ भाई
It's
एक
the
बार
best Enigma guys he's looked in a long time as well.
EWC वालों map दिखाओ
Saddest thing about it, now it's happened
Aurora
in
versus
finals.
Aurora क्या
But it's happened so frequently in the past as
Sky
well,
को
where
धर
Enigma
लिया
guys who's just got to challenge another team for their drop spot. It's not guaranteed theirs for sure, but they've held it the entire tournament. Come on, guys.
No fear getting ran down by Aurora as Top will
भाई
find him
टॉप
on the
कब
move.
तक परफॉर्म करेगा भाई टचवुड भाई करते
4
रहे
Fives
नजर
did
नहीं लगा
piece
रहा
out, going slightly deeper into the zone to do a bit of loot, and obviously wasting a decent amount of time on that as well for the elim they were able to garner.
इनको तो लूट मिल गई जबरदस्त
Vitality down towards the southwest, started in Kameshki style, but this time we're seeing him over towards Gatka, but they grabbed themselves the loot truck. Fiend as much as they can out from there. Circle up towards that north side, split between the lake. Yasnaya on the south side, on school, as well as Saverni.
निकल ले तू
Shooting range
तुम भी
area.
जाओ भाई तब भी जाएंगे
Tiamba tighten it in with E-Arena, Aurora, Godlike. Salme currently holding down the gas station, pops up tire. He can't come through here.
बढ़िया ये नॉक निकल जाए ना मजा आ जाएगा चल सॉम
He's got more bullets though.
Yeah, only 18 left. One in the clip, 17 in a hole. Let's see if he can turn some bodies cold on this push-up. Top going to drop down back behind the car. So Aurora taking a fair bit of damage. More reserve taps now. Got to find himself some ammo to play with. Switch it out to the Tommy just to keep the pressure on them. Suppressive fire.
Power down कब हुआ? ये कब हमने देखा ही नहीं. ध्यान ही नहीं दिया.
Caught in the grass, but not quite finding the shots over towards the players. Next circle, 10 seconds roughly on this one. Aurora still figuring out where they want to play. Probably going to be a big old retreat here out. Migrate for a lot of squads. Hard shift potentially. Actually, very, very kind up towards that north side. Obviously, Lake is a bit of an awkward one to play around. You're going to see a lot of people playing on the rocky outcrops. The staging that goes up towards Stalba, big old mountainside.
Alula सीधा ये पकड़ेगी.
Never mind, it's horrible. I lied to you. It's not great. You got the field down towards the S9 too, so there's not a huge amount of fun spots to play in. You have to decide a rotation in now and quickly. Do you wrap on the north? Do you wrap on the south? Because you can't really change that as time goes on because of Yas Lake.
Mormon from E Arena once again, being able to throw out some big uppercuts. That's back onto Aurora. So single knock there. We have the Tianba POV on rotation. Getting themselves into a fair place so far. Mormon keeping it going.
Indian team gas
that's
station.
vitality as well, with Razy hitting a very big blow back onto GodLike. A lot of fights breaking out across the battleground. Individuals being knocked. Ulf coming in with some show-stopping rotates.
Oh, nice.
Wiz got out
Badhiya
that
nade,
one ready
badhiya
for him.
Wiz ka nade tha.
Got it primed. I mean, for Ulf, Aaron comes in swinging. But yeah, got shut down very quickly there.
Se fight hui.
Scarface looks to send a nade, but I don't even know if think it's worth it anymore to go for this. Ulf's deep on the south side of the map. Need to swing back further in Yas way. Alula instantly takes up the cliffside. Aurora decides they're going to go loot Severny. I mean, to be fair, they had taken quite a fair hit earlier on. Spent a little bit of ammo. Potentially some of the vests are starting to wear down, some of the helmets. Get some resets on that before you get moving.
Tianba tackling against the Vitality Killer Bees once more. And it's Milu that's already showing that consistent form. Putting himself up to 10 elims on the day, I believe, then after that. Nice start for the first 3 games.
Milu keeping it a little bit quiet, though. Now playing a little bit of a split on this one. They've got Eagle a little bit further forward, perched up. Over towards Aura. Very much slowing down now at the halfway portion, Jackie. Trying to maintain some of that lead because some teams have struck out in a big way. I mean, Enigma Galaxy absolutely 30 points right now. Aurora at 26. They were able to earn 3 after that last game. In the first, I think they got 23 on that one, so last game was a bit of a dud. Hope they can find more of this one. Centers up over towards Tianba as well as Aura, so those 2 compounds there are going to be a really big deal. Aura actually has the high ground on this one, the plateau that surrounds them. Very nice to be able to take shots out towards teams as they push on in. Sadly, Alula's much more high ground spot gets pulled off, so you're going to have to move over towards that western side. Yasser pulled away. I like this move for 4 Thrives though, Jackie. This is good.
4 Thrives still looking pretty nice in some of the encounters we've seen individually. Another roster we know that could be very explosive. Let's see if they can bring the boom on this one. Straight up towards the setup from Alula. Quick on top. Got a pump action in the back pocket, ready for it if they can close the gap. Bit of overwatch from R3B on the top side with Claws relatively close to assist. Fast reactions onto the position of Falag, but the shot's not connecting.
Falag taking a little bit of damage here, down to half. Claws as a nade though, it's not the craziest of sends on this one. Good bounce on it, actually. That would have been on target if he hadn't moved. I mean, Falag just takes the time. Here's the arc on that one, so he doesn't want to have any part of it. Tough circle though, man. Very, very tough circle. The majority of the center is taken up by that water. I actually do really like S2G's position. They're playing over towards those compounds that sit just a little bit east over towards the lake itself. Oh, sorry, the cliff face. You got flash down towards those compounds, but S2G currently playing on that rocky outcrop on the northern side, just holding out teams on the south here. Tiamba's actually even going to crunch in towards that little bank.
Fine margins between this going wrong for either of these 2 teams in 4 Thrives and Alula. So not wanting to risk it too much. Meanwhile, OG Crossing past the crosshairs of Nongshim Red Force with Zizzy taking the peak over the top. Got the heavy weaponry ready to rock them if they stay close by. And luckily they have at least been able to create some space between the two. Double back over to the bridge where Rolf is stationed.
Yeah, they know OG's in the area as well. See, Aaron struggled versus them earlier on his flying maneuver into the gas station. Tried to go for the movie entrance, but we went straight to credits instead. Yeah, Ulf hoping to hold them on the bridge side. Next circle, though, I'm feeling the pizza slice here over towards the west. I mean, Aurora currently have a really strong position on it, and we do head over there, in fact. But it's like a case of Aurora holding the central spot. They have a lot of 360 vision, but it's very open, Jackie. This is a very, very open area, a little bit unfun. There's quite a few radio towers and the square concretes that sit underneath them that end up being like where you play. You literally just lie down next to them, try and set up vehicles. You can see Vitality already sending over. But this is quite a nice spot for Aurora. It's a tiny bit of hard cover, a little bit of a crescent lit behind them as well.
And that's the last man for Enigma Galaxy, and Ralph trying to stay alive for as long as he can, but finally falls to S2G. S2G possibly being collapsed upon as well by 4 Thrives. They fall next.
Yeah, good fight. Very good fight from 4 Thrives. S2G tried to jump the gun there, Jackie, and ran straight into titanium wall. A lot of hopes riding on these 3 players from Aurora, though. Another good game here. Sits them a little bit further ahead.
अपने को इधर आने पड़ेगा क्योंकि हमारे पास आ चुका है.
Not the greatest of pushes across the bridge to begin.
To be fair, with Nigma and S2G going down early, not really acclimating too many points on this one. It could be the dream recovery for Aurora if they can keep it up. Unfortunately for Godlike, Adamino unable to withstand the hit that is thrown towards him. Furia will get their mates back up and live on to fight on this one. 4 of our squads out of the running into the 3rd game so far.
Nongshim on that south side, actually trying to push on in, but there's quite a few teams there. Nongshim's just going to barge over towards OG. Tanky's already down. Another nade towards the backside here. Good damage from Hyunbin, as always. Looking very, very strong. Hits the deck. Good dodge on that. Second nade's a bit stronger, though. Aru now needs to get back into action. The rest of Nongshim Red Force lagging behind as Flash still continues to create a little bit of a nuisance for them in tops.
Back and forth blows, but Orangutan still being able to withstand. Uncomfortable for Nongshim, actually, man. Yeah, that's a nice flick back up towards the Wizard Tower, and it keeps him pinned in position, so he can't provide too much overwatch.
Bad spot now. I mean, no position to help the rest of his team. It's a cool side swipe coming through from tops as well. Caused so many problems on the back line there for Nongshim Red Force. Just weren't quite quick enough. He's going to have an even deeper look into this one. He wants to get up close and personal, investigate. Potentially some more eliminations here left at the crime scene.
He's still trying to get an angle on this. The minute you got to move, he'll be ready for the catch. And Furia over on the other side of the coast have been taking shots over as well, so it's all been a little bit uncomfortable for the 4 squads that have been collapsing in onto that one position. This gas station for OG somehow being a very formidable defensive area.
Oh. Calling it from zone 3 there. I got a little bit lucky, but yeah, Aurora in a really, really good spot now. This is definitely redeemable city here for Aurora. We just need to not see them go for something silly again. That is all.
Yeah, just keep their cards close to their chest and be able to close
Let's
this
go,
one
guys.
out with some good plays. To be honest, mate, that is kind of the dream with what we saw off the back of this game with the other squads above them
because of some
falling out early. It has presented that opportunity, and like you say, if they can grab it, you've recovered from that. We can all forget about game two. Everything looks good for them, and they'd actually be on that podium spot in first place. Come the end of this game, but that's still in the future. Still a lot of other teams that could potentially look to upset them. So we'll stick with the narrative as it develops. This is their position right now. 4 Thrives going in against the arena. Doc looking to decimate some damage out, and he does hit nice. Good shot on the foul. A little bit more they can do here.
I like that though. Good smoke. Over towards the rock side to kind of isolate this engagement between them and 4 Thrives in the arena on the northern edge. Makes a ton of sense to me as well. That vitality location is going to be a real problem for you. That's a long nade. Ooh. Actually hits on target. Great damage, and they just keep on pumping in. 4 Thrives are out. But yeah, I mean, that's some massively long nades on that one.
Just chaining them together as well, one after another, after another. They want to go in to grab the bits. Drop the smoke, try and stay alive. Issue is you're now in a position where other teams can take shots onto you for free.
Yeah. Good. I mean, Doc is holding on. He is holding on. I think he's got that mentality where it's like, well, I'm sorry guys, I ran out that time. I will play anchor for the rest of the day, and I will keep you lads safe. It's a good shot over towards Silence. The rest of Fury need to re-angle over towards it, but it takes a gun away from that western side. But Aurora had to do that. They had to push over towards 4 Thrives. They knew that it's not likely in the near future they're going to be getting many more death crates, and they need that util. They need that ammo to carry on inside of this match. Tiamba though looming off in the wings.
Had to restock and get themselves ready for what's yet to come. Tiamba, they've been doing a pretty effective job of harassing a lot of our other squads from distance as well throughout the past couple minutes, keeping pressure on them. Playing a little bit safer here in their setup. Window peek with good eye line onto some of the other teams. Scarface on the long wrap around back up the coastal ridge over towards the bridge side. Going to be coming in from the back near Vitality and Flash. This is his angle on the move. Ooh, spotted out. Starting to lose his HP bit by bit. Got to drop down to the deck and hope that he can hold on.
Can't even sure how he's lived this long. I mean, Tops has got to know someone's move here, the pitter-patter of the footfall. Close at distance. Scarface is instead just going to go for the heel. Tops pulls the pin. He should know. It should be right on the edge of the blue here. Good airburst will do the trick. Ruins the amount of healing that came through there. Aura from the sidelines, though, will get sleepy and over towards Bose. Top, though, is the one to refrag over towards that. Tiamba aching moving forward. Gets behind that radio tower. This is a good spot to aggress over towards Aurora on. But more importantly, hold out on the southeast side. Good nades again. Goodness me, Aurora's having none of it.
You feel the base on that one. More coming as well. Airburst over the top side, trying to arc it round the corner. Ooh. Eagles crossing his fingers, hoping the smoke is enough to get the pickup play back on Aching to stay alive.
I wonder if they're going to push this, Jackie.
I mean, with a molly, you could. You get the spread on it, just try follow up off the back. You know they're weak.
Oh, man, I think they just wanted to get the flush, at least, but not meant to be. That's a lot of nades invested there for basically nothing. Aking's going to send back one of his own. Now they're fully set up over here on the radio tower. Good Molotovs, man. A bit more damage done. Chip damage from the nades should be good enough. So start to bombard now. They're splitting the difference on these ones. They know they have to go for one side, and it is over towards Dog. Survives the first blaster shrapnel and should survive the second.
So many nades though, and Doc, although the shrapnel hits him in the face, he takes that peek and shuts one player down once again. 6 nades thrown out for no real follow-up from it. So it goes both ways for either of these two teams. Top with the instant adjustment back over onto E Arena. No, he's being collapsed upon from 2 sides between this team.
Shreps now. Get the res on of E-Arena. E-Arena, you know, actually haven't been too bad. I think for the points they currently have, 19, but they've been consistently up towards at least the top 8 every game. Vitality still taking more shots here. Tiamba is the one to take down tops. Tiamba's playing as a 4-man, and genuinely the way they weather the storm here versus Aurora, they have a place to play inside the circle going forward. It's more about dealing with the couple of players inside that shack right there, and it's hard to line up those nades past the side. Always have that angle of Doc to worry about. He is so critical to his other 2 teammates living.
Schweppes with a bit of a forward scout play in the buggy.
Like kar do guys.
Reading onto it. QZZ was knocked towards the backside. Thing is though, they've been here for so long and they've invested so many nades, so many bullets, and they're starting to run dry and can't actually push out to get themselves anything. Availability of crates becoming an all-time premium. The longer this goes on, the worse it gets for Tiamba.
Yeah, they needed a break, honestly, and that break was going to come in, be able to get those shots, get those nades over towards Aurora. E-Arena making a massive swing. Mormon's got 5 nades to play around with too. QZZ finds shots over towards Vitality. They are trying to stop 2 teams from squeezing them together. But this is a good play. This is actually a good play. It's a desperation play, but it's one that's very much needed for Tiamba right now as A-King moves in. Razak last step alive. Where's the rest of the team? QZZ moves up. How is Razak living this?
Oh, this is unbelievable. Razak raising hell amidst the chaos as he stands strong to punish back. Vitality looked like it was all said and done, but they pop off on that one against Tiamba's clash in, knowing they needed to shut them down to get themselves any sort of ammunition, any kind of supplies to play on. And it does not work how they wanted.
Wild stuff. The arena now. Send some nades in. Zol's the first to fall off the back of that. They have just played this game nice and slow from that northern side, trying not to get too involved in things. They've been saving up these nades for that end game. Mormon will move in and just completely cleans them out. This guy's been unbelievable with the S12K today.
Finishes off the stragglers. Slowly but surely, the team's exit stage left, and the final fight begins to have itself set up. Furia coming back in with some of that firepower we had seen prior. Good damage onto E-Arena. It's Tony K that's knocked behind the hard cover. Joker looks to wrap over to see if he can save his mate and put them back to an equal situation. 3 versus 4 right now. Schweppes warding off Ayala.
Igor's Mormon still coming out strong. He wants more in the game, and they are delivering. Igor's down, big player on the squad. Now it's time for the likes of Ayala as well as Chief to stand up tall. E-Arena, they saved all their potential up for that late game, though. We saw how much ammo they still had, how many smokes they still had remaining. His team basically played this one out for the chicken dinner. For E-Arena, it's sort of not worth it unless they get the chicken dinner on this one. The amount they saved up, 5 nades still in the hand of Schweppes. Second place is nice though, but yeah, it's this open ground, disgusting to work with. Furia is lining up for a big old bombardment from E-Arena in the near future though.
Does he go down, man? It's kind of so brutal because he really has been this pop-off player for the team.
हेलो अभी आ रही है आवाज अरे जो मैं बोल रहा था ना वो बंदा नॉक नहीं होना चाहिए वही नॉक हो गया यार क्योंकि वो कवर मस्त देता है
he's just providing all the information back all the time.
Back to basic.
Chief moves up over towards the loot crate. The nade has to be invested. Oh man, don't use that on that. Yeah, good. I was thinking that he was going to send it over towards Igor's. But he is just calling every single time they pull the pin on this one. When to move and when not to. Finally the play zone takes him out and Fury is blind again.
You lose your eyes in the back line. and have to rely on your gun skill now. A standoff between these two teams with open space in front of them, waiting to be crunched forth. Silence with the big guns in the back line, ready to spray.
Chal Furia, nikal.
Invested, dashing them in towards the middle
अभी
here.
संचित को गलत proof
I mean, they're mega blind.
देख अभी zone देख.
They can't
ये अरीना ने zone जो ले लिया है भाई.
Unless Eagle's giving that back the worst information.
Oh,
in the world,
nice
but-
रे.
Yeah, I mean, for Fury, I think there's a little bit of
दोनों में भी कुछ
scaredness of that front line being aggressed upon. Schweppes pulls the nade.
Proper 3v3. पहले 4v4 फिर 3v3.
We are playing battleships right now.
Easy chicken ये.
Grenade to E5. You missed by a mile.
Just dashing them out. He's gone wide.
ये
man.
caster हंस क्यों रहे हो?
Fire out in this
तुम
field of
casting
Arendelle
करने
right
गए
now,
हो?
the best opportunity for them. That one actually hits.
He's
There you
happy
go.
to drive into it though. Okay.
Assist.
I mean, I think we could just wait on these.
देख
There's,
बस.
there's plenty of time to wait on this one. E-Arena can play off the back of the tree in the near future.
भाई बच जाना है ऐसे क्या क्या है? ऐसे
Not
तो
how I
classic.
expected the first domino to fall, but that's Ayala going in and opening things up with an advantage for E-Arena.
This is Pmwc here at EWC. There's been an end game. It has been an end game. Igor's confused everyone. Silence.
सही
now.
बात है, सबको
Trying to be as
confuse
quiet as
किया है.
possible. Decent Molotovs, these ones actually. Trying to catch them on the rotate out. MG3 could make all the difference.
Molly है
Joker's
बाबू.
about to send this nade
जाओ.
back into the blue.
A little bit of a pre-fire. Problem is the info goes both ways. Silence got a good read of what angle they're actually playing from now. Oof.
He actually did.
Oh, okay. Chief with a peek up. There you go. Follow up off the back of it. Let's see if they can deal some damage. Silence peeks up. Warning shots out. Low on health. Got about half left to play with. Runs in towards the tree. He's got the shotty in his hands now. Yeah, all right. It's all kicking off here. They're going to be able to find it through in the end. E-Arena do clutch on.
E-Arena बढ़िया
A bit of a topsy-turvy one, but a chicken dinner they'll still be proud of.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you, really?
बढ़िया बढ़िया.
Good game from E-Arena.
यार expected. भाई फ्यूरिया ने जो चौक किया, वो थर्ड बंदा अभी जो था 3v3 की जब फाइट थी, वो क्यों गया भाई चेक करने? उधर तो नॉर्मली बंदा रहता है, क्लासिक में भी रहता है. जरूरत नहीं थी उधर जाने की.
Unfortunate stuff. To be fair, whilst he was still alive, they had a real good pinpoint on what E-Arena was doing. So
और
I am
चिकू
joking.
यशु
It's
वेलकम
a
टू द
joke,
स्ट्रीम
guys.
की हालचाल
I
लाइक
do
कर
think
दो यार.
Eagle's a great player. But yeah, still a weird end game.
GG, yes.
Yeah, it was a lot of utility investment with not too much information. Kind of felt like it was, you know, we
वो
don't
क्यों
want
गया था
push,
पता ही
so
नहीं
we're just
चला.
going to lob everything, and then have that respectful gunfight once we get in your
Exactly,
face.
because I do think that for
मैंने
E-Arena, they
पैसे
just wait a little bit longer.
चल
Went towards the tree line. With the amount of nades they had, they could have blanketed the entire thing. But even then, they were like bouncing them out into the blues. It's a little strange. Was a little strange. And you're right. I also did not expect that to be the first domino to fall, which was just Isla just getting mega impatient.
After all that waiting, yeah, it was kind of really like a curveball just came in. Swift gut punch. Didn't expect that.
I know they're behind. I'm just going to go for it. All right. Confirmed. That's where they are.
Guys, like कर दो, चैनल को नहीं subscribe तो कर दो यार.
That's where they are.
Yeah, I got the info.
Yeah, bro. This time you win. Right? Next time,
Sick of playing battleships. But yeah, overall, I think if we look a little bit prior into that game, I think Aurora, the way they set themselves up, not bad, but there was a
Aurora तो
couple
हर game में चुप करे, वो gunfight उनके
I think
ठीक
a
है,
lot of
but
teams made it
last
far
में
into that
जाते
end
जाते
game. Tiamba play out that radio tower really, really well. Even I think Tiamba's decision making does require bringing up a little bit. The fact that they decided to push over towards Vitality in that moment, the play almost works, but the speed at which they do it, like we're getting crunched right now, we have to just fly over towards this team and take them out. They have no qualms about just fully going for it. I really like that, and I think that that's the type of playstyle that's going to win you games more often than it loses them.
No, absolutely. I think, again, that was one where it was like Razak just kind of popped off on the hold.
Yes.
It was, honestly, it was better play from him than it was bad play from them. He just popped off on a solo mission where it's like, oh, fair play. You've actually kind of owned us there.
Yeah.
But what the play was meant to do was great. They needed ammo. They needed supplies.
ये point दे रहा है या position दे रहा है ये बता.
It was the right thing to do. And the right thing for us to do right now is to go for a little moment with the boys over on the stage. And we'll be back real soon.
Powers here at Pmwc 26, joined by John Allen, Kalaris and Neptura, and we're playing a round of Hot Drop Dance.
Ooh, we're going to be getting stuck into the board, hopefully. Maybe not for some. Some are having a bit of trouble during practice, but we're going to be taking some shots at the board. The person with the least score is going to have to give their hot take, so let's jump into it. You guys, I think you two have to go first.
I think we get Nep up there first. Let's get Nep's in a prime position for this. I feel like I'm in the danger zone, but let's see.
Get ready to dodge.
Oh, it's your best one. Yeah, that's
it's on the board. All right, let's shuffle up.
Thursday.
चल bye bye. किधर जा रहा है? Position हाँ फिर तो position सही है फिर भाई.
Oh, okay, all right.
This is good. This is good.
अरे ये हुआ भाई तेरे मुंह में घी शक्कर भाई.
You don't hit me, please. Oh, it's a 17. Currently, Nep's in last with 6.
No way. Oh, a double 17.
It's a triple 17.
It's a triple one, I don't know.
That means Neptura is last.
Are you serious?
Yep. What's your hot take, Neptura?
My hot take is that the Uzi is a bad weapon and shouldn't be played.
हाँ मैं बताऊंगा. Okay, बाद में बताएंगे.
That's it. Wait.
This one was Neptura.
No, that one was mine.
In the bullseye.
No, it's in 25.
TAG.
Oh,
it's you.
Well, she's already done a hot take now, so.
चार क्या किया?
You did that on purpose.
No, I didn't do anything. All right, here. Go on.
John starting us off.
हाँ भाई बताओ भाई संचित जानना चाहता है बता दे.
Oh, hey.
A 5.
It's in.
Bad.
That's all that matters, really.
It's on the board.
Here we go.
I haven't missed.
Kalaris now.
1 minute दो मुझे.
Forearm strength. It's good. It's good.
Ooh. That could be a treble.
That's nice.
Get out of the danger zone. The splash zone's coming for you, Kale.
Good maths.
Whoa. Oh, that's a triple.
Okay.
Triple 3.
God. All right, there you go, mate. Take this.
I'm pretty sure it's currently the lowest. Wait, no, it's not.
I'm
John's
on a
the
5.
lowest. Yes, John's the lowest.
Or is that a 2? It's a 5, I think.
It's a 5.
Oh, and that's a 2.
That is a 2.
I've been saved by the upside down version of my own number.
Jackie, it's your turn.
There you go.
Okay, hot take. Dino Park and Vikendi, infinitely better than Ronda. I miss it. Bring it back.
Oh, okay.
All right, considering I actually lost the first round, I should probably do a hot take because I cheated you out of it. I'm so sorry. Tiamba will not win PMWC despite looking really good.
I feel like I've got to follow in with a hot take as well.
Oh, okay.
I feel like over-reliance on ARs, nonsense. I want DMRs in, give the players a little bit more expression in the secondary slot, you know? Those submachine guns, something else popping in. Give a little bit more individuality. That's what I want to see.
I like it.
Don't give me this mic. You know what I want? I want all of your opinions from the viewers at home. You in the chat. Tell us what you think. Let us know right here, right now. What are your controversial takes?
आ गया मैं आ गया गाइस. लाइक कर दो गाइस. आ गया मैं. वेलकम बैक. लाइक ठोको सारे के सारे.
if I'm not mistaken, Niftura, I think you actually won at darts. And I think you got that chicken dinner.
I did.
You were lied to, but
very mad.
In this last game, E-Arena wasn't lied to, Max, because E-Arena came out with the win.
I never know how to react to an E-Arena win now since that Rondo 39-pointer. I'm like, okay, that's great. That's a cool win. But what's next? No, it genuinely was a good game. It was very open-ended finish between Furia and E-Arena. I think it was kind of even-Steven until eventually Ayala got a little bit overly aggressive on that push. Then he gave them an advantage, and E-Arena using every resource they had available to get that win. Good to see, but again, I need to see that continue in your next coming matches.
Take it away, Lace. I know you've been wanting to talk about this team for a minute.
Hey, Ayala, I am revoking your driver's license because I was waiting for the Furia drive by Max. E-Arena, obviously, they deserved that win because of Furia and their driving and not taking that position early on. I mean, I liked the way that they sort of held out E-Arena early on in the map. They had Silence kind of scouting Vitality's movements right down at the south side. So this was such a better play from them. They're actually defending and looking where other teams are sort of pushing into that position. They had such a strong split hold. Obviously, a little bit of tunnel vision coming out of some of the players there, and then I don't know what the vehicle situation was, and you could hear me screaming in the back, he's like catching nades with the vehicle as well, and I'm like, what plan is this? They had such a strong position after getting like
this one.
After moving their way into zone on the rotation on the southern side, Max.
Look,
I'll give you my pack next year. I'm really upset.
I know what happened, actually. I was talking tonight. I saw him as we were leaving the talent room, and I asked him, like, what was the play with Ayala? And he said the idea for Ayala was to get an off angle on the team and actually catch them from behind. But then he saw two players and he got scared. And that's the thing is, right, lack of information will make you do these kind of mistakes. So it could have been a good idea, and catching nades didn't work out. It could have been great, but unfortunately, two-player setup was exactly what E-Arena needed in case of those kind of pushes coming their way.
That was just a big, something I like to call what the Furia. WTF, because that's exactly what ended up happening with that one. I've been working on that one all day, especially with the way that they were playing earlier. There was a squad, though, that was able to put up a good amount of eliminations, and it was none other than Aurora. Aurora, once again, Neptura being able to back it up with the limbs, even though they wasted a lot of utility with Tiamba.
They did wait. It was a big old red zone, and it was fairly unnecessary. However, it does get you those points, right? And it's been really nice to see them actually, because I think in the group stage, right, we saw them just doing just enough to get into the top 5, just enough to get to where they wanted to be. Now we're seeing true Aurora here. Now we're seeing the team that we're used to seeing, and really enjoying that. I think they've actually played a lot better, right? They're very even. They're not splitting. Doc's not doing his thing. He's staying with his team, and Rifus, Enzio, we've seen some really cool off angles from them, so very happy with them.
And something that I enjoy seeing there, especially out of that graphic, Max, is Top being able to bounce back. Remember, earlier in the previous match before this one, Top was on the top of the bridge. It didn't end up working out for him, but 4 LMs out of him, a person that has been an MVP before on an international finals, that's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, really happy. I mean, the best way to describe it is what you said, Niptro. They became a red zone at that moment in that game, and I love the way that any team would get in contention of their zone, they would start just nading them to hell and back. So Aurora playing it really well. I am still not sold though on their performances so far. I feel like there's still a lack of fragging power that they used to have in the past. Doc is underperforming quite significantly. So Top, GG's, I'm loving it. Zol too had some great moments, especially in that rondo. But Doc, he's still sleeping right now. He needs to wake up.
Wake up, Doc. Wake up. Just make sure you don't start going away from your team, because that's when things ends up falling apart for Aurora. But Aurora, honestly, 36 points, currently tied. But the tiebreaker does go to E-Arena with that win that they ended up getting. Tiamba, though. Tiamba right now, the aggressiveness that we've been seeing out of this team, if you want to give the mic to Lace, they're truly putting up those numbers, Lace, because 27 eliminations for that squad and only 4 placement points.
Yeah, I see that. This is what I'm saying. They're finding those fights. They're gathering those eliminations, finding a nice power play position, but then unfortunately losing it, which is where we see the decline in placement points. But obviously this is still a really good trend for them, especially coming out of survivals into this sort of scenario, and to have that amount of points and that sort of trajectory is incredibly good for them. But of course, we got to bring it back to kind of the smash rule and the way that you have to gather these eliminations. It's fine. It's good to do it obviously today, but then we got to see more of those placement points and those wins out of them to be able to take more than that.
100%. And another team that's currently doing that, Max, it's none other than Nangshem. And I know you weren't quite happy with what Nangshem, especially Human, was doing that last game.
Yeah, initially I love the way they initiate the fight onto, I think it was Orangutan in that gas station. I'm like, okay, you've got some solid off angles, I like it, they're pushing the fight. The thing is about off angles, they lose effectiveness the longer the fight goes on. And I think it was one of the play on the Harry Potter tower, he had a great line of sight, but eventually Orangutan know you have that line of sight, so they're not going to peek you that aggressively. That would be the prime time for them to regroup, fully commit to the fight and send it, and hopefully come out on top. But they're very slow to respond to these moments, and I'm very upset with their opening performances so far.
Yeah, one team talking about aggressive, talking about people committing to a fight. We saw Enigma Galaxy and Ida finally commit to the hot drop, and if I'm being completely honest, I don't want to see it. I don't care about it. Leave that ego to some other time, because right now it's going to be hurting those two teams.
Yeah, it is, and we did see Fourth Thrives take advantage of what's been going on there, right? Just dropping in on, trying to get a few limbs, and then move back to their position. They were trying to punish that as much as possible, just because it's kind of silly. In the finals, maybe day one, you kind of get away with it, but keep on doing it. It's not going to work out. Fourth Thrives knew that, and, you know, they might not be the only team to take advantage of that. If the playing path's a little funny, if that keeps happening, other teams might just third-party that.
Yeah, they will end up third-partying that. We saw there towards the bottom of the leaderboard as well. Godlike OG currently not being able to put up those numbers. Those are two teams that are looking to bounce back. But right now, we are halfway through that mark. Lace, any team that has surprised you so far?
I would just like to say that, like, I'm very proud of you, Furia. You know, I know I was a little bit mad in that situation, and I was surprised about you in the first couple of games, and I just want to make it note that that was a much better performance. But still, I'm taking a driver's license away.
That was a good performance. Next time you ever take my mic, Lace, this big old chicken is going to be hitting your head once again. But as we're getting ready here for match 4, let's send it over to none other than Barney and Luti.
Luti, yeah, you know how last week we were talking about how to win Pmwc?
Oh, yeah, the big secret I told everyone.
You gave everyone some incredible insight for those of you at home that were listening. Teams were listening as well. Aurora Gaming, Tianba, the Arena, they're playing very well at the moment.
Indeed.
But let's, like, break it down into the finer details, okay?
So
I want to ask you a little bit more, okay? So, like, what's the best map to, like, capitalize on points?
I mean, there is different teams with different play styles, so it depends.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, it depends, yeah. How about, like, vehicles for, like, late rotations, getting into a good position? What's the best vehicle to use?
The horse, the buggy, and so different maps, so it depends.
It depends.
Yeah, as well,
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Utility, okay, so like end of game, you know, smokes, nades, you know, medical packs, bandages. What's the best thing to have in your arsenal?
I mean, depending your situation with the cycle, so I will answer, it depends.
It depends.
Yeah.
Okay. Luti.
It's not that easy, you know?
Luti. What's the best gun in the game?
I mean,
let me guess. It depends. Sacre bleu.
No, Barney. Everyone knows it's a P90. No, it depends. Okay, back to you, casters. I hope you're ready. It depends.
And yeah, he's right. The P90 is where it's at, but we are here live in the finals, getting ready for the last 3 matches.
Absolutely. We have got a great day unfolding before us. We've had some real step-ups from a lot of teams coming on through, some great rotations, some insertions, some side swipes into those zones. That S2G hovercraft double roll-up, that was looking pretty, but we're going to be sending ourselves once again over to Erangel to find ourselves one more chicken dinner.
Let's see who's gonna get it. Yeah, I mean, this is it, the last Erangel of the day, and it's time to put up some serious points. I mean, we're still super early in this tournament, but we're already starting to see some teams, right, make some things happen. I was able to talk to one player in particular. As we were getting into this game, I happened to see S-Power from GodLike. You know, the hair is hard to miss. I went up to the man and said, hey, you know what, give me 3 words before we get into this next match. And he said, the domination begins.
Ooh, using a whole word on the. That is bold. That's the sort of confidence that you want to see coming through. For GodLike, they do want to try and push a little bit further up those tables, try and get in the competition for those top spots. Of course, having only seen 3 matches, we are still in a fairly uncertain situation, in a state of flux when it comes to those tables. Obviously, some performances standing out more than others, but it's definitely still achievable because of the fact that we have got an 18-match set, right? We've been playing so far on 12-match sets time and time again, but moving over to that expanded 3-day approach, that 18 set, that's where consistency really comes into play. So it's teams that are able to earn 6, 7, 8 points on those games that are going to be the teams that will take those top spots, those podium positions.
You're exactly right. I mean, it's all about putting up as many points as you can early on, and consistency is going to be the king here at the end of the day. I mean, we saw in the group stage, right, E-Arena, 39 points in one single game, and they weren't even able to make it. I mean, straight to the finals. They had to deal with the survival stage, and let's be honest, I mean, luckily we're able to get here, right? So, I mean, but they're crushing it now. They did a great job in that last game, right? And so they're off to a strong start. Let's just see if they're able to keep that pedal to the metal. Aurora starting off strong is really good because historically, they've always taken a long time, right, to really get warmed up. But for them to put some points on the board early just goes to show that come finals time, they're adjusting their strategies and it's working out for them.
Maybe able to finally claim a title spot, you know, that's what they're going to be looking for. Plenty of other teams looking to do so as well. I know there's plenty of fans in the crowd for Furia who are there, really giving them their backing, which has been nice to see. Hopefully they can keep up the pace towards the top side as well. But yeah, I mean, there is so much on the line. That trophy, a threat to so many, but a promise to only one of our teams.
Man, one of the sickest trophies you could put on your shelf. I love every single year I see it. I'm like, oh, you gotta get one. And this is what these teams have been hunting for. They've been working all year long to get here. And we can tell the teams that have prepped, and it's every single one of them. It's wild to see all these names, and the level of competition has never been so even, in my opinion, right? I mean, there is squads all across the board. They get a good couple zones, good couple situations. They're not messing around. They're going to take full advantage of it here. You talked about Furia, right? I think it's only a matter of time before we see them get a chicken dinner. We got to see some keys a little earlier. We saw that Team Vitality key, Tianba, 2 monster squads as well. So it's just really about that consistently, like you talked about. But you know what? We're in the final Erangel of the day, John. One thing that stands out to me, without a shadow of doubt, is Pachinki, right? What is going on there? That last game has to mean that something's got to switch up, right?
It has to. Something definitely has to change. For me, I feel like Enigma Galaxy, they kind of, well, certainly we know how consistently Ralph will just sacrifice tournaments to hold on to Pachinki. So for me, I'm just unsure as to why Ida made the decision to stick to that drop spot. There are obviously other opportunities, and it's sort of, it reads ego to me. It reads ego that they aren't disengaging. I liked 4thrive's adjustment. They were able to get in. They were able to get, I think, 2 eliminations right at the start of the match. Really, really nice stuff from that very clear position that they normally drop around. They were able to move on up. They exploited that situation. But I think that the second good decision that 4thrive's made in that scenario was not to hunt down Ralph, right? Because he's a solo, he's hiding in a corner, you don't know exactly where he is. You disengage. You don't go hunting, because a solo in a corner in Pachinki, you could lose a player to that very, very easily. So I liked their withdrawal there coming on through. The other side of a hot drop in Pachinki that is a massive factor, certainly for later into the mid and later game, is the fact that in a hot drop, you don't get that loot truck, and you can't get it double either, which means that it went over to Vitality during that last match. It goes over to other teams who just sit on that northwest side. It's also an incredibly clear indicator that a hot drop is happening. Get a team out there so they can grab that one and send on in to maybe pick up the pieces.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of the highlights here before we get started, as these teams are going to get locked and loaded here in just a second here, folks. But yeah, you know, when we go back to that hot drop, it's wild to see. I've been kind of watching these two teams talk to each other all along here in Paris. and I'd see, you know, Enigma Galaxy players walk by IDA players and kind of have some exchanging of words, and I was hoping they would kind of get this settled before the finals, because I think it's just a devastating loss for this to continue here for both of them. And in the last game, it showed, just like, because guess what? 4 Thrives. They came to party right after. They were like, oh, you know what? There's a silly fight happening in Pachinki. We'll take those eliminations, and they got some of them, right? So I think now that you have 4 Thrives, especially now on the hunt for this, it's got to make, you know, IDA, and Enigma Galaxy have to start second thinking, I think, some things. But at the end of the day, like you said, you know, for those of you guys that don't know Ralph's true name, it's Ralph Pachinki Sanchez Montero III. Okay. Pachinki is in the name, right? And he will refuse to let it go. And I mean, they've dominated it, right? We saw them be able to take out IDA, but now that you have 4 Thrives coming into play, it's got to make you second guess things.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that dropping in Pachinki is in Ralph's will somewhere.
Yeah.
For any eventually, hopefully, in the very far future. But if he keeps dropping in Pachinki in game, he's certainly not going to have a long life expectancy. Aurora Gaming able to do the business, but we are going to head to a quick video whilst we get this lobby ready to rock for our last Pachinki today.
안녕하세요. 저는 농심 레드폭스의 엑지입니다. 여기는 현빈, 소이지, 키즈입니다.
프로 선수로서 경쟁하는 일은 항상 힘든 일입니다.
하지만 이런 플레이 라운지에 오게 되면 즐거운 게 되게 많죠.
저희가 이 플레이 라운지에 왔기 때문에 이 플레이 라운지에 있는 것들을 즐겨보겠습니다. 가시죠.
이 공간은 협력 공간입니다. 대회 측과 소통하거나 협력해야 될 일이 있으면 이곳에서 해결하실 수 있습니다.
EWC 공간에 있는 한 공간 중인 탁구장이 있는데 저희가 한번 재밌게 해보도록 하겠습니다.
오!
와우.
연습반이네 완전.
어이씨 뭐야? 여기는 여러 가지 즐길 것이 있는데요. 저희가 한번 다 체험해 보도록 하겠습니다.
대회를 할 때면 항상 배고플 때가 있는데
WC에서 제공해주는 음식이 있는데 그 품질이 아주 좋고 최고급이라고 해서 저희가 한번 먹으러 와봤습니다.
아 배고프다 빨리 가자.
Welcome back to the Hot Drop Watch here as we await the fate of Pachinki. It is still undetermined as to who is going to last the longest in that location, and if we may have a 4th, a 5th, or maybe even more teams. Perhaps everybody is going to Pachinki. It's going to be a 64-player brawl in the center of the map.
You know what? I'm in. I want to see that action. That would be absolutely insane. I mean, if it was going to be possible, now would be the time because it's the last one of the day. But you know what? It's time to see what exactly is going to happen as we get into the map. Final Erangel of day 1 of the finals. Now let's see who's going to be able to put some serious points on the board before we get into the sandy deserts of Miramar.
I mean, I'll take non-serious points at this stage, of course. Every single team would as well. Plane path on the west side of the mainland here, coming through from North George to the west point of Sosnovka military base. And it will be going fairly close to Pachinki, so we're not going to be denied it by the plane path. Hora out early over towards Severny. Tiamba over into North George. I'm keeping an eye out to see if any of our teams on the hot drop are going somewhere else, but I'm really not holding my breath.
I kind of am here. You know what? I will say, yeah, you can see already here. Look at that. Looks like we're going to see another hot drop in Pachinki as IDA and Enigma Galaxy are headed in that direction.
Uh-oh.
Very, very interesting. I will say, though, we got to give massive props to Nigma Galaxy for being so high up on the leaderboards, considering that they've been dealing with this all day long here. I mean, they're in 4th place, 30 points. That's pretty insane.
Sure, I mean, they were able to take a chicken dinner towards the start of the day, right? So they do have a little bit of a foundation to try and do this with, but they could be so much further ahead without this situation. It looks like we're not going to see a 4th Thrives flex out. Instead, S2G are the closest by on the southwest side. Nongshim Red Force, who have yet to touch the floor off their parachute, could potentially also flex in from the southeast side. I feel like S2G are the most likely right now to cause problems for Ida. Nigma Galaxy on the north side of Pachinki, they're split right now, but you can see Rita on that off angle could be quite important. Ralph seems like they know he's in this building, but the nade won't connect.
Yeah, that was a warning nade for sure. You can see Satan up on the roof here. On this ledge, trying to get a little bit of information. He knows exactly where Rita is. It's a big stalemate, though. This is the hard part about these hot drops, and I can hear it. That loot truck is now driving on by. The precious loot. Satan's like, that should have been ours. I want it. No. Oh, Lord gets knocked. And did he get thirsted? No, he actually gets beat up pretty bad. Satan, through the door. What a clutch knock for this team.
Able to take out the off angle there, and Ida are going to really struggle to get back to this one. It's across the road, and I don't think you can break past that. The res, though, in the meantime, is going to be there, and because it's so early in the game, it's so much less likely that you've got the nades on side to just completely suppress that res position, which allows Nigma Galaxy to go back to 4 and leaves Ida stranded on 3. Rita getting knocked there is the most crucial part of that fight, Jukes.
Man, that was an insane shot there from Satan. I mean, that's that game sense, guys. Shooting right through the door. He knew he was there, and he makes the play for his team. It's one of those micro plays, right? That when you make that kind of play, it just changes the entire situation for your squad. And now, because of that, Nigma Galaxy up ahead against Ida.
They still have to get a little bit more pace to it, though. And Ida are retreating now right to the southeast point of Pachinki. They've read that immediately Satan can move out, get this position on the off angle that they were previously in control of. The fact that they're aware of that is good, but you're just going to keep losing players. At this stage, I feel like Nigma Galaxy definitely have had a better result so far in this Pachinki hot drop. They were very ready for it. As you said, they will have known, they will have been aware that this is unfurled.
Yeah, and what are you going to do if you're Ida at this point? I mean, look where they're at on the leaderboards. I mean, this is crazy. 16 points, only 2 points so far. If I'm their coach, anybody that is in the leadership of this team, I'm like, give it up, guys. We lost. I mean, I get it, right? Day 1, you're going to battle it out with Nigma Galaxy to see if you could conquer this location. But it's an L. Like, you gotta at some point realize that this is not gonna work for us. If we want to be able to do well in this tournament, I mean, Aaron Gale is the majority of the maps we're gonna be playing here. We cannot afford to continue doing this.
It is pretty devastating. They have only lost 1 player this time around, but the loot is going to be fairly thin on the ground. The vehicle condition, like, I don't know, man. It's really cutting the legs out from underneath themselves.
It's terrible. I mean, you're down a player. You don't get the loot truck. You don't get any. You're under looted at this point. I mean, it's just a loss overall. And where they stand on the leaderboards is a pure reflection of that. So, yeah, you know, I always say that when it comes to these kind of hot drops or these situations in general, I really do think these need to be settled in rehearsals. You know, in the pre-matches where it's like, hey, you know what, guys? Have a little handshake agreement. We're going to drop in Pachinki this game. Whoever wins it gets it, you know?
Fair enough. Yeah, well, I don't think that would ever happen. But, yeah, I mean, I kind of understand. It is a question, right, that is rooted in a lot more, I think, subjective opinion for a lot of people.
Sure.
Because you have that question of, if we give up our drop spot, are we just going to be easily pushed around in the future, right? Like, are you trying to do that sort of thing? I mean, it's like negotiating contracts, negotiating business there. It is one strategy is to just be like, okay, we'll go somewhere else. We'll go somewhere else. But you can hold your nerve. And if you guys want to be the best, then you guys need to hold your nerve. And you can look good doing it using the Naruto skins here. Make sure you're heading into game. Get that character set. Get that Ninetales Fury AUG skin. get that one developing as well, because you can get some variations on that bad boy.
Yeah, you want to be maxing that bad boy out and looking real good. As you know, Tiamba's been looking really good today. They're in 4th place, 31 points. Milu, man, the way he started off that Rondo match was just wild. I mean, this man has been performing all tournament long for his squad. He had, for sure, right, the play of the tournament. That 1v4 earlier in the group stage was so sick.
Yeah.
And then come finals time, the way he started out, they are looking really good.
Absolutely. They are currently in 4th place right now. Looking to try and keep themselves within striking distance of that 1st place spot. Godlike would love to try and join them, but they are a little bit more destitute on that points front, with only 8 towards the bottom of those tables. Another circle heading up towards the north side, split by that central river. A lot of open ground south of Severny, being covered actually mostly by Aura, who have a wide spread around the river, are causing a lot of problems. I'm interested to see how many teams look to head east of Yasnaya. Furia likely going to do so. Could potentially see that from teams who are still on the military island, by the way, Aurora and Al-Ula. And maybe we'll see it from one of the 2 teams who are still in Pachinki too, because, well, it looks like either looking to push back in and re-engage. Enigma Galaxy have been working the ground in the meantime, snaffling up all that loot.
इस बार ये लोग बैठे हैं भाई.
Or at least I hope they are.
Yeah, they better be, that's for sure. I mean, you can definitely tell they're keeping their head on a swivel here. They got to know that Ida's around here somewhere. They're just clearing building by building with Satan on the other side, rocking a 3-1 split. Got to be careful, though. One day could be dangerous. Oh, the shots ring on out, and the knock on to Coops is huge.
He's got another nade as well. Coops is in danger here. Ralph does need to get some healing done before he can go for that revive, but he should be okay to do it. You can't step forwards and go for the cross. And again, Satan is on that off angle. Just about misses Swain on the cross, but he should be able to call that one out. Should have spotted it. Lord is already cooking a nade. He knows he's in the building now. Launches it forwards and he takes it down. Communication.
The plays from Enigma Galaxy in Pachinki are just insane. How do they do these wild bounce back shots, nades that just turn the fight in their direction? This just goes to show you, when you know this side of the map like the back of your hand, it's gonna pay dividends.
In the meantime, Nongshim Red Force and 4th Rise are going head to head. And at the moment, it looks like 4th Rise are in the driver's seat. This is out to the east side of Potato Hill, but they are grabbing a couple of flushes on board as well. As we keep going with this hot drop though. Yeah, Nongshim Red Force, they're going to try and get out, just leave a solo survivor coming on through. And another knock goes on in. This is Enigma Galaxy sweeping it under the rug. They're putting this hot drop to bed. It cannot come back tomorrow. It would be a terrible idea.
I can't stress how difficult this is to do, right? To be able to deal with this hot drop so frequently and to just execute in this perfect fashion. I mean, not losing a single player, getting those 4 points early on is just insane.
There was a hard north shift on the circle in the meantime. We are watching all of this hot drop unfold, but it is pushing teams now north very, very quickly, which is causing conflict around the crossings as Coops finds the final player on Ida. And down they go. All 4 players from Enigma Galaxy are there, and no third party came on through as well. Now we're going to jump over towards the teams that are looking to put pressure on up towards the north side. We talked a little bit about Nongshim Red Force losing 3 of their players. 4th Rise lost 1, but they did manage to get the 3 points for that north,
like you mentioned. We already got Furia up there in Severny, E-Arena over by shooting range right now. Taking that Snake Hill position.
Okay.
And now we're going to see a lot of these teams start make that rotation. Aurora Gaming. Oh, the one rock. You got to hit it for good luck.
That's a map open right there. Guaranteed. 100% looking at the map. No ways.
I think we're going to go here, guys.
Is he going to go again? Oh, no. Okay, we're getting a little replay. This is on the 4th Rise and Nongshim Red Force fight. They'd already lost T24, but the hold from Hazaifa, the angles that he was able to clock, it seems, pretty efficacious on the high ground there. Love to see it for 4th Rise. Aurora on their crossing, run into Vitality. Looks like they may have run their last across these bridges. This western hold looking quite good for Vitality, who, for the time being, have been a little bit quieter, I think it's safe to say, than their group stage performances, but they're still very much there. They're still very much present. well, certainly their presence is being felt by Aurora on this northwest side.
Vitality. Oh, southern shift here, and a big southern shift. This actually might be really good for the side of Enigma Galaxy, as they're going to be mushing in super late here. And are you kidding me? If this zone actually south shifts one more time to Roz, that would be devastating for them.
Held out by Vitality.
Yeah, you're right.
They're just trying to take a turn around the town to maybe allow Vitality to disengage and then maybe re-engage later on. See what they can do with a little bit less pressure from the river crossing on that front. Team Flash over on the east side need to settle their score with Alola to try and get towards the circle. And it is not looking pretty for Alola. They lose a player. Not a good start, but yeah, it would be kind of mental to send all the way down to Roz that mountain and lickety split, get themselves another chicken dinner. GodLike in the meantime on the hunt in the middle. Bits out to Aura, and it seems that they are going to be able to take at least one and get the flush for GodLike.
Mormon, the nade looks good. Puts them all the way down to 1 HP. Mormon, pow, pow, pow. That's 12K getting the finish. And look at that. I mean, teammate instantly there with the vehicle to make sure that they can get him over to safety. So Aura going to have to go out pretty early here in this game.
Guys, the art look
we can do later on, but now we're off to the gas station with a Furia. Keeping their eyes on to Team Flash. Win has the P90 and the ghillie suit. So he definitely won that crate drop. He came out absolutely stacked to the teeth and hits the tree for good luck. That is a necessary thing to do here, folks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bold
Just a
strategy.
Little tap on the tree.
Little tap, tap, tap.
Little shout out to Mother Nature there, just saying hi, and then
gotta make sure it's secure.
Yeah, and then proceeding to unleash lead into the hillsides around him. Hopefully with that P90. Team Flash getting out of dodge from this east side could be tricky. S2G managed to make their way to one of the buildings here that is this lineup from S2G, from Orangutan, from Tianba, and from Ulf. On this lineup, very central on the circle, some very defensible positions, but teams will start to crowd in around them. Vitality and Aurora, this is the re-engage, Dukes.
Here they go, they're battling it again. It looks like Aurora on top so far with that knock on a Razak. Here you can see Zol driving around, trying to get some information. Federalis up close and personal, having to run back. Oh, it's GodLike on the other side. Yeah, that's too dangerous. Vitality need to disengage this as their 6 is not covered, but Razy is driving up close and personal, giving an opportunity for Reesvis to put some shots onto him. And yeah, it's just down to these 2 players left for Aurora. This fight would have definitely went off earlier, but that third party from GodLike bought Aurora Gaming some time.
A little bit, but now they're down to 2. And Vitality do eat a little bit of nade there, not ideal. E-Arena in the meantime trying to find their way in on the north side, but it's not looking super accessible right now. And now seems like they're engaged with the final player from Horror. Sleepy is holding it, but in the meantime a crash. S2G trying to roll across, but Tiamba are holding face against it, and they are not going to let S2G in without a fight. Aurora want to jump in and join the party here. A nade in, that could be brutal there, right under his feet. Is it going to blast him down? But there's an answer, and Reefus falls. A third knock over towards Tiamba, but now everybody has been isolated and evacuated from this fight. Nobody's left to put the pressure on this triple knock.
Are you kidding me? It looked like these guys were fighting in a lake of fire here. QZ in the center of it, and Top could have been there to make that play, but unfortunately there are too many teams surrounding him, and it stopped that crucial third party.
Oh, another nade from Top, doesn't quite connect there. There is an answering nade, and that is going to back Top off nicely. The run around there, Orangutan maybe missing a beat there, maybe missing a trick, not able to flex out, didn't quite have the angles on it.
Top!
Oh, Top just about behind the concrete there to keep him safe from catch, but they know exactly where he is. He's got 2 smokes. He is slap bang in the middle of the circle though, Jukes, and that might be a little bit of a help until another team rocks up with nowhere to go. They're going to roll right on top of this guy.
Yeah, Top's cooked right now. He's just like, I think I'm just going to lay down right here.
He's on the simmer.
For as long as I possibly can. No standing up for me. It's straight hit the deck time on the side of Top. But hey, you know what? That's good, right? He's got a good position in zone. They're pretty high up on the leaderboard, so if they can just kind of hang on and get some placement points, that'll be good for him. But meanwhile, I mean, Tianba on a tear. 7 eliminations. Fortunate for them, they're able to get everybody back up here, and they're in a solid position in this circle. As we now look on over to Furia, Igor hopping off the vehicle here, getting punished by Arena for it.
Oh, it's not going well. It is not going well for Furia. Unfortunate, they're just going to be down to Chief, the other 2 players down on the hillside. Tianba, by the way, managed to fend off a triple team crash on their compound, right? They're now on 7 eliminations. They have done phenomenal stuff. It's likely they're going to have to fend off at least 1 more, but the number of crates around them is going to be ludicrous. They're going to have to try and figure out exactly what they want to put in their backpacks as Flash try to find their way through, thread the needle, but Arena are just going to roll it down. Mormon over the top, doesn't even need to ring the doorbell to open that door. And Tops has to turn tail. Tourniquet sees to it. He's going to get backed off by a third party. I think that might be Orangutan chiming in. And now Tops has to head towards 4th Rise, so nowhere real to go for him. Finally bites the dust, the last player alive for Nongshim Red Force.
Arena are putting some good points on the board here. I mean, they're having to really battle it out, holding the edge of that circle, because there's a lot of open field in this zone. And now you're going to see 4th Thrives. 6 eliminations so far. Falak with 2, Zypha with 3.
It's keeping Rozog in.
Oh my, I just saw that circle shift. Are you kidding me? Enigma Galaxy, they'll take that all day long, right? Hey, you know what? Sometimes you got to get a little reward for those crazy hot drop efforts, and they'll definitely take that one to the bank.
Yeah, that's going to be friendly for them for the time being. For them, I feel like a good strategy is to start scouting the other side of the river now, though. I feel like you need to get someone in fast. The difficulty, of course, is that 4 Thrives, and now Vitality is starting to move in, and they don't have an outpost there. Move over to the bridge, a little bit out of the zone.
Yeah.
I feel like somehow you've got to find a coastal position on that riverbank.
And
if you hold towards the warehouse, towards the triple stack, it's just going to be a bleed out for Enigma Galaxy. The placements aren't really going to be enough. Yeah, I want a little bit more forward thinking there as Aurora lose their final player top. Could not stay in for too much longer. 4 Thrives though, getting crashed on.
Here they go, Arena not messing around here, just full sending it, non-stop aggression from this team. And it's been paying off so far, and that's why you can see them on top. Mormon hopping on out, trying to hit that flick shot onto Zypha. Zypha's really hurt here. Great teamwork though from Arena, picking apart the likes of 4 Thrives.
Zypha has been so difficult to deal with, but Arena the only team to be able to take him down, and it took at least 3 of them. Tourniquet goes down with him, but 10 eliminations now for Arena. Very possible to get this res. This is the chance, though, for Enigma Galaxy to move across. And look at Ralph. He's getting over. Coops is looking to join him. This is the perfect opportunity, whilst these teams on the East are preoccupied. A little bit slow to get the third party, but it is I like what they've been able to do there. We've seen counterpointed river cross positions in 2-2 splits work well in the past. I'm hoping they can leverage that here. I'm a little bit disappointed in Orangutan on the north side. I feel like they could have poked their noses into that fight, and third party did as well. Moved a little bit further out to the east, been fairly safe from Tianba, and gotten stuck in there, but they hold inside. And I don't think it was going to be enough.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed here in the EWC is the quickness these teams are ready to third party and take those opportunities. And it's just kind of surprising to see OG just kind of hold back there for a second. Enigma Galaxy, just due to the terrain, weren't able to even think about getting that third party. But because of that fight, it opened the door for them to be able to at least make that safe rotation and get that 2-2 split going that you were talking about. So let's see how they're able to capitalize onto it, though. As now is the calm before the storm. We are in stage number 5. All these teams just planning it out, trying to figure out, okay, if the zone goes over here, we're going to have to make these plays. If the zone stays on us, then GG, baby. We just shoot at everything in sight.
Yeah, we're going to get the next zone unveiling itself in the next 20 seconds or so. It's GodLike try and keep their ridgeline in play. This is a replay of the roll-up. Okay, this is when Arena crashed on towards 4 Thrives. Yeah, went down very quickly there to Joker. Not much you can do about that. When the flying vehicle launches over the top, the bunny rabbits bound on into your sightlines. He wasn't ready for it, which is kind of unfortunate. Next circle, though, comes in Jukes.
They're very difficult for them to make a play from their position. And now you can see Scarface getting up close and personal. Has power, trying to smoke some things out, buy his teams some time. It's going to be up to him and Admino, though. as they are just trying to hold this spot. Unfortunately for them, though, it's outside of circle. Yeah, so now Ulf are in a perfect position to gate cardi this. Oh, nice shots though from Admino. But unfortunately, those smokes are perfectly put, and he's not able to get the thirst.
The nade is up high, doesn't quite go the distance. It went completely out of his viewing angle there. If it had been just a little bit further, that could have been a straight knock there. S-Power gets across. And just get some healing started as well, but that blue zone pressure is coming through. We're looking at OG and eArena, as well as Nigma Galaxy, also having to make moves in the meantime, Dukes. And move in from this east edge. Tiamba are gonna have to move. There is a lot of teams that have to make some difficult decisions now, and OG are making it right now. They're gonna roll straight on forwards, try and get dead center here and contest with Nigma Galaxy on the coastline into Vitality.
भाई सारी टीम के बीच से ऐसे सुर गई है भाई.
Managed to get across, not
unscathed,
but alive.
Great IQ of a rotation. They knew
Sorry,
that
it is
one little
देखते
plateau was right there. They were able to head straight towards it. They get their safe. Coops in trouble. The closest nade, he's done. Oh, able to get the heal off, and now gets some shots downrange. Headshot onto Mormon. Joker right there next to him, though. Can Coops get to safety? No, he gets knocked, and eArena are going to continue to apply that pressure, getting that thirst immediately. They're on to Coops. At Nigma Galaxy just getting picked apart. That 2-2 split not working out.
That was insane for Coops to be able to do so much damage on that angle. He really held Ralph in the game there, and are leaving Nigma Galaxy on 3. Orangutan lost players on the center as well. They are now down to just 2 as eArena make the same mad dash.
Yeah, no,
the mad crash against Tiamba will not work out for them, and eArena evaporated.
eArena evaporated, and they end up feeding the beast that is Tiamba. They did put some good points on the board for them, and I love to see that aggression. Let's see if Tiamba, though, can put even some more points and get this chicken dinner. They already have 10 eliminations. They're looking pretty unstoppable. S-Power forced to hit the deck. Oh, now with those sight lines just punishing them. I mean, they have this position locked down.
You needed Admino to be on an angle there to suppress Ulf, but no, not quite there, not quite ready, didn't have the presence, and it's a difficult spot on the north side, so I can't really blame them too much there. Now the transition to the rest of the circle. A knock over towards Tiamba, and the final flush onto GodLike as well. Another nade over towards Tiamba. They're getting caught in the crunches. Nigma Galaxy move up the hill. They're challenging Orangutan. They're challenging Tiamba. They're doing a lot on this eastern side, and Nigma Galaxy strike at the opportune moment.
Perfect timing there for Nigma Galaxy. They understand the situation. Hey, we got to push up. We can't just sit back and relax, wait for them to come to us. And you can see Lord with those nades applying the pressure. I think they need to slow things down a little bit, though. The circle is coming. The circle will push these teams out. So you want to make sure you hold on to all of that utility up until that last and final second. And I think they realize that. That's why they're starting to hold on to those nades. But the shots ringing out. Eagle getting a nice knock on Aaron. That's their biggest threat right now.
Catch, though, with the response over to QZZ. And it leaves Eagle alone. Dropping that smoke, the zone starts closing in 15 seconds, so this res needs to be now. It needs to come through as fast as possible to be able to be in a position to move out. Orangutan lose their final player. Gone. And it is going to go down to Nigma Galaxy, who are now up on 7 elims. Their transition from across the river has gone so well for them.
What a game from Nigma Galaxy, getting hot dropped over and over and over. They take out Ida in just a beautiful fashion, and now with this fortunate zone shift are putting the punishment on this lobby as they take down Eagle from Tiamba.
Now QZZ will go down too, and Tiamba knocked out. They managed to get a whole host of points, though, 14 on the match, and they will keep themselves in the running for the podium. Nigma Galaxy looking to join them. There's not enough room for both of you. You've got to organize it. Back to front, stand the line, but Vitality gonna have to leave as well from their cover on that south edge.
Does Solus not see Satan right there in that corner? He had to see him now. No, he's too focused downhill. Oh, never mind. It's going to be Axel that catches him out. So it's all up to Vitality. Axel, the last player up. Is he able to survive?
Oh, Ralph gets knocked as well. Ulf are captaining from this compound for quite a while now. They haven't had to leave it. And when they do, it's against 2 duo teams with one of their players on either side knocked. For Ulf, this should be a clean sweep. There are no two ways about it, but it might get a little bit ahead. Lord is shut out first, and Aaron doesn't even hit the deck. A 2v4 here would be needed for Vitality, and they are getting cut across, sliced and diced. Ulf are on the hunt. Downhill, they roll on in, and it's just Razy to stand in their way. The smoke billows, the P90 at hand. You couldn't ask for a better setup, but Ulf are here, and they have the nades, the ordnance to blast them apart at the seams.
And that is how you do it, folks. Ulf just taking full opportunity there and capitalizing it on it. We love to be able to see that. That building so strong, it was in circle all the way up there towards the end, but they didn't just sit on their hands, right? They just saw, they hunted down every elimination they possibly could, and then once they realized that those teams were weak, they pushed out immediately and were able to get it done.
Some real heads-up plays, some proactive plays in that match. I mean, we focused a lot at the start on the hot drop, but the rotations up towards the north side also came in to be really impactful later on into that match, right? It was the teams that got there early that had the staying power. For me, a highlight of that game was also Tiamba holding off against the triple crash. It was Alula, followed by S2G, followed by Aurora. Everybody wanted to get into that central compound, but they denied them access at every single turn. It was a shame that Tiamba couldn't go the full distance. They did get shut out. And I feel like for Orangutan, they could have had more of an impact on that northeast side that would have changed the tune there. And hopefully they can find those opportunities in the future. It would be great to see them perform at the level we know them to be capable of from their performance in the group stage. But it is looking pretty powerful on multiple fronts.
It's so tough. I mean, everybody here is playing just hyper aggression. Zero hesitation gameplay here live in Paris. The second you see an opportunity, these teams are taking it. One team in particular, right, we got to talk about it, is E-Arena. Just straight aggression there towards the end game. They soak up a ton of elimination. Unfortunately, don't get the chicken dinner, but when you get that many elims, that's a good game no matter what.
Yeah, that fight with 4 Thrives over the ridgeline worked out well for them. And again, the lack of third party allowed them to keep in the match for a lot longer. They were down to just a single player standing at one point, but they managed to get back to 3 to recover that pressure without any third party look-ins coming on through. And yeah, for E-Arena, it's a good result. I would even say it's a great result to keep at the top of the tables, to keep, well, I don't know if they're actually at the top of the tables anymore. We'll have to double check that, but a man who could find out is Kalaris down on the stage with E-Arena.
I'll try my best, John Allen. Yes, that's right. E-Arena looking fantastic so far, so let's ask them a few questions about the games here to get things rolling. So first things first, your previous win going up against Furia. Were you surprised by Furia's approach to the late game? And talk to me about that late game in general after you got the win.
ในเกมที่เราต้องเจอกับฟิเรียนะฮะในเกมที่เราชนะเมื่อสักครู่เนี่ยฮะตอนที่เราเจอกับฟิเรียฮะเรารู้สึกเซอร์ไพรส์นะกับวิธีที่ฟิเรียเล่นเพลย์สไตล์ของฟิเรียในเกมนั้นครับ
ก็แปลกใจครับแต่ก็รู้ว่าเขาเล่นอย่างนั้นครับก็เลยไม่ได้ตื่นเต้นเลยครับ
Well, we expected, but we still surprised with how they approaching the teams. But even though the last result is that they winning the games.
Okay, so you guys got very close to qualifying via the group stage and then came really close to not qualifying via the survival stage. So has there been any difference in approach here to the final? What has the team talked about to adjust here coming into the finals of Pmwc?
ก็ขนาดที่2นะฮะในกรุ๊ปสเตจเราก็เกือบที่จะได้ควอลิฟายแล้วส่วนในรอบ survival stage นะฮะเราก็เกือบที่จะตกรอบแล้วด้วยซ้ำในตอนนั้นอยากถามว่าในตอนนี้ฮะรู้สึกยังไงบ้างครับ
ก็พอเราเข้าไฟนอลมาได้ใช่ไหมครับก็ทุกอย่างก็เริ่มใหม่ครับทุกคนเริ่มจากศูนย์เราก็เริ่มจากศูนย์ก็เลยไม่กดดันอะไรครับ
Well, right now we have zero pressure at all. So we are here to win, of course. And it's like since everyone, this is a new day, new group. So this is a champion group now. Everyone's starting at the 0 point. So that's no different. And we're gonna claim all the glory back to Thailand.
Okay, so that does
like
it then. Well, thank you very much for the answers.
वाईफाई वाले को दोबारा कॉल कर गाइस कौन कौन देख रहा है एक बार हाय हेलो लिख दो यार
Today our players are taking on a brand new challenge, Drop Hunt. Each team will be split into 2 pairs, with each pair receiving their own map. 5 locations are marked on the map.
Mana kita? Iya, so. Mana ya? Sini bang. Sini bang. Kita stiker di sini bujang. Kita di sini aja. Coba tengok mapnya lagi. Mereka mana tengok di daerah sini? Kayak mana cara dapat amplopnya anjing? Tengok tahu cara geraknya mereka. Ini kah? Mana si amplopnya? Pernah diambil harusnya. Lihat mana? Di sini. Oh guys. Viewing di situ, viewing. Viewing ini nggak sih? Mau kita serang aja gitu. Iya, serangin aja mereka, ayo.
लाइक कर दो गाइस तुम लोग छेती
Sini Ben. Kau mati juga kan jangan. Ini Ben. Ambil Ben. Ngeri Ben.
भाई इस बार जब गेम नहीं खिलवा रहे हैं प्लेयर्स थोड़ा चिल करने का मौका मिल रहा है
Oh yang ini. Mana dia? Ini. Oh tren dia. Ambil. Gini. We have 3, they have 2. We lost. Ya. Nangis dulu jangan nangis yang. Let's go.
ये क्या कर रहे हो भाई तुम लोग?
Today is going by so quick. It feels like a final here at Pmwc at EWC 26.
Guys, 7 लोग देख रहे हैं थाला पर रीजन जो भी नया आ रहा है भाई लाइक कर दो चैनल को नहीं क्या सब्सक्राइब तो कर दो भाई.
Don't forget about the Pmwc lucky spin that is currently in the game. Log into Pubg Mobile and get those Pmwc skins. They are co-created with PvP creator none other than Nana. You guys want to check them out? Make sure you do so. The alien Fusion Grossa looks absolutely stunning. On top of that, the electric energy set and proton power set Maxman has all of them. If I'm not mistaken, and I personally just want the Grossa.
Yeah, I do have the Groza. Unfortunately, I don't use it because I cannot control that recoil. So I just stick to the Org because I'm basic like that 7. But the Org is cool.
I'm with you, honestly. I won't be able to control the recoil, but I just want to see it. I want to see it glow, even if I'm able to get at least 1 elimination. One team that was able to glow in this last match, being able to keep all their 4 players alive, none other than Ulf, Natura.
Oh, finally. You said it, right? We're finally getting a play where we actually have all of Ulf still around, still here. To fight for the end game, to fight for that chicken dinner coming on through. Yeah, really nice to see. I mean, yes, they didn't have to contest it too much. They had 1 or 2 fights in the mid stage of the game, OG more notably, but then they were able to just hold their position, wait for the right time, and then once that time struck, Max, they were all over that final circle.
Yeah, I mean, really able to get himself some good presence at the end, keeping 4 players alive, which is my biggest issue with them since PMGO Season 1 in Jakarta this year, and you know what, they're able to finally get it done. I told you, they're a slow starting team, we're getting to the final, we're finally starting to see these more dominant finishes from Ulf, but second place, Nemo Galaxy. I got a segment later on, but you know what? It's good to see that once they do get out of the hot drop 7, they can actually put up big points.
They can put up those big points. Talking about big points here for some teams, it was none other than GodLike and OG. This was a match that they really needed laced because the middle of the pack teams were eliminated very early on. They needed to be able to catch up, but both teams were only able to catch 5 points apiece.
I mean, look, it's still a great improvement from them. And being so, they had like that kind of control in the middle of zone. So they were there for that early rotate. I would have liked to sort of see, I guess, OG apply a little bit more pressure to their eastern side. But still, to get to that point after the first couple of matches is a better thing for them. Obviously, we talk about slow starting teams, and they are one of them. But I do believe that coming into like the next match, we're probably going to see them a little bit more active. I mean, they need to be a little bit more active in that, but to get to that, I guess, spot that they have, it's a lot better than the previous match.
It is, and one team that was able to, that's also been starting off slow, but finally being able to wake up, Max, none other than 4Thrives. 4Thrives getting 8 eliminations this last match.
Good to see. Finally, good to see it, especially a lot of those eliminations actually secured on 2 teams that were interesting. You had Team Flash a little bit early on in that game too. That was fun to see how they won that little bit of an encounter. Huzaifa in particular, he carried that fight from start to finish. Really good numbers from Huzaifa. But they had a very good early rotation, and you could say a bad rotation from Nongs from Red Force, where they catch them off guard. They didn't expect to clash next to Potato Hill. And you know 4Thrives, right, Nipchura? If they can take a fight and you are in a weakened state, they're going to chase you down until the edge of the earth, and that's what they did. And Nongs from Red Force took a massive L there. So 4Thrives, if you know where they're going to rotate, I would try and avoid them because they don't like having neighbors around them.
No, they don't. And even in this sort of this state of where we're seeing them of just kind of indecision, I think they don't really know what's going on. But it is nice to see that, yeah, they're still a threat even in this state, and it's just been really difficult for me to watch 4Thrives because I'm used to a very confident team that knows exactly what they're doing at all times, and I can tell that they're not sure what's wrong, why this isn't really happening. There's a little bit of the old spark there in this last game, but I think really it's just indecision. They're hesitating just too much.
Didn't you say like something about T24 going out a lot early recently? Like that's been a big issue, right?
Early. Yeah, and he's one of the big fraggers. He's really up and coming as a big fragger for the team, so for him to go out early, yes, Huzaifa is able to clutch, but, you know, T24, they need a 4th player, and they need somebody like him on that squad to just stay alive a little bit longer.
Yeah, T24 was able to start slow during groups as well, then he was able to pick it up, but right here in the finals, you don't want to be starting slow, so that's one team we'll definitely be looking to see bounce back. One team that has been really consistent, especially with eliminations, we talked about it earlier, Lace, is none other than Tiamba. Tiamba just keeps putting up those eliminations in a big way.
They absolutely have, and I also want to add into that, like, keeping up those sort of eliminations. It's also E-Arena. Like, we sort of, like, look at these 2 powerhouse squads, and we're going to have to get a mashup with these 2 teams because they are making it in those top 5 positions. They are clearing their space. They're grabbing the eliminations along the way, even in a fight where I think it was Nigma Galaxy, could have pushed E-Arena a lot earlier in their position, but for whatever reason, I'm sure Max will cover it, they didn't sort of get into that contention, but E-Arena just kept making power plays for the spot that they want. Tiamba is also making those power plays to get the position that they want. And obviously early eliminations, especially in today, is what will capitalize you for going into tomorrow. So this steady, I guess, excel in eliminations has been awesome from both of these squads.
Yeah, especially for E-Arena, right? Remember what we saw of E-Arena in day 1 of their Group B? They were able to get those 29 eliminations in Rondo, and then after that, they kind of just ended up dying off us. We're actually going to be looking at a comparison between Group Day 1 and also what they're doing here in the finals. And something that I want you to keep in mind is the placement that this team is currently being able to put up, being able to survive even longer, and the eliminations are even higher because they have been consistent with those eliminations.
They have been very, very consistent. It's been back-to-back-to-back games of just really good placement, good strategy, good synergy with the team as well. They look fairly confident. The lobby is hard. I'm going to say that. It is a very, very difficult lobby, night and day from the group stage, from the survival stage, but they are handling it very well. I do want to say very quickly, what I loved about the fight with 4Thrives, right? That dip, the way they use the terrain, because there's a bit of a cliff area there, it's a dip, and then you got those 2 cliffs, and what actually they ended up using is they went off the cliff, back behind 4Thrives, and then used that terrain where they couldn't actually see to move around in front of them as well. So it gave the illusion that they were everywhere at once when really they weren't. And for a team that is slightly struggling like 4Thrives, that was just the death knell. So very well played by EA. Good knowledge of the terrain and great synergy overall.
It was a magic trick almost.
It was. It really was.
Max, there is something that has been pretty much pissing us off when we talk about Erangel, and that is the hot drops that we're seeing between Nigma Galaxy and none other than Ida. It's good for Nigma Galaxy right now, but Ida is just, they're just squandering their hopes.
Yeah, I mean, Nigma Galaxy, you saw what we could do when they can actually get out of the hot drop, but here you go, Pachinki, Nigma Galaxy dropping there since the 1990s at this point, and Ida going to be joining up on this one. And initially I was like, okay, Ida, you should not be going for this hot drop. You know as a clear-up fact that Nigma Galaxy will never go up this location. And it's almost getting to the point for me, Nipchura, where I'm thinking, Nigma Galaxy, maybe this would be a good opportunity for you to start leaving, because Ida are not just ruining your Erangels, they're ruining your entire tournament run so far.
Yeah, it's really weird, right? Because for Enigma Galaxy, it's like Ida is the newcomers. They need to get out. Clearly, it's not working for them. They have 2 points over the entire day. 1, 2, that's it. But you're right, Enigma Galaxy is ending up ruining their tournament chances as well, because we are seeing really good performances from Enigma. I love how they've been playing, but they're just entering the zone way too late because of Ida.
Yeah, of course, we did say this game was good, right? Because they got out of the hot drop as a 4-man team. They lose a single player. I promise you, they do not get a finish like that. They do not get that many points. So right now, Enigma Galaxy, I would say there are other options available, and I understand it's your drop, you've been there for the longest time, but I do not care at this point which team leaves. One team has to leave. This is a waste of time, and it's making me angry, and I'm just looking at that on the early game.
Can I also just interject here and go, Ida, what are you doing? Because this is a team, remember, that got in through the group stage. They were second in their group. They had a fantastic second day. They won like 3 of the games. They were hyper aggressive. We know this is a team that can play very well, but they're wasting everything on a hot drop 3 times in a row. Again, they have 2 points. You're not going to win on 2 points.
And teams are starting to notice this is such a waste of time. Like 4 Thrives, I think it was on one of the Orangles earlier in Ipchira, they like just instantly third party it. And now teams are going around Pachinki waiting for the loot truck to come out, because they know no one is going to get that loot truck because they're so focused on that clash between Enigma Galaxy and Ida. Of course here, big respect, by the way, Enigma Galaxy, the smokes and the way they started pushing these solo players, that was very well executed, but one mistake, one slight error, and you lose a player, and instantly your chances of a win dwindle to almost nothing.
Well, we know exactly what happened when 4 Thrives joined the party, right? Enigma Galaxy lost a couple of players, and then we didn't really see them in that game. They went out fairly early on. They had to full send. Game 1, they had to full send to the beach and just kind of stay there. There was no opportunity for them to get any points whatsoever. So, yeah, for Enigma, this is bad on both sides. I'm mad at Ida for initiating this every single game, but Enigma need to figure out how to adapt to this.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out how to adapt to this. If I had to pick one team to stop hot dropping in Pachinki, it wouldn't be Enigma, because Enigma has been getting the better end of this, especially they showcased what they were able to do in the last match. They're getting the eliminations too, so Enigma Galaxy, keep on doing your thing. If you're Ida, get the heck out of town. You need to find a different spot. But when we're talking about someone, you're gonna pretty much see here just the finish of this engagement between these squads. You know what, Max, Lace, who would you want to see just give up this hot drop between Enigma and Ida?
It's got to be Ida, right? Like
it has to be.
Like, they're not even getting any further into the late game. They should have just made the decision to sort of rotate from this position. I mean, you know, I was kind of touching on, I think, Enigma Galaxy a little bit later into the zone, how they're making slow decisions. But again, this is slowing their decision. But Ida just,
Look, by the way, look on the left side of your screen. While they're still in their looting stage, technically, right? So hot drop's a bit weird, it's a bit different. You have Nongshim Red Force fighting 4 Thrives on their first rotation after the looting stage. This is, look, even here, you have the fight Orangutan fighting Ulf. Everything is happening in the game. Teams are not going to wait for you. And while that's happening, you're still in your initial drop location and you have no scouting done. The loot truck, you can see on the left side of your screen, he came back for round 2. Round 2, and the fight is still not done. What are we doing?
It's okay, Max. This is Picado Red Buildings all over again. It's really annoying. It's Picado Red Buildings all over again, Max. I mean, we get so mad at that hot drop, and we still have the Miramars to go. So if either of you hot drop Red Building Picado, I am going to come over to your table, and I'm going to be aggressive. Yes, I'm going to moonwalk.
Look, okay.
I'm going to hee-hee at you very aggressively.
TLDR for the entire segment, we don't like it. End of story.
Unless you're Enigma Galaxy. Enigma Galaxy currently in 3rd place. You have E-Arena right now in 1st place with 48 points. Tiamba continuing on those consistency of eliminations. This is the main story for Tiamba right now. 45 points, 37 coming from the elims. And if we start going down, we are seeing one team that has been going down as the day has been going on. And it's none other than Aurora, Max.
Yeah, unfortunately, I still have not seen the comeback of Doc, right? I would even take the dockening at this point. I would be like, I want to see something come out of it. But yeah, they've definitely been slowing down quite significantly. Keep in mind, they've got 11 placement points, sure, but they got 2nd place on the first rondo. That's 6 placement points. After that, the rest of the day is only 5 placement points after 3 Orangles back to back to back. Quite disappointing, especially when it's just outside of Ferry Pier. I was expecting way more. They're slipping down, and especially when Ulf now, they just got a 4-man finish. You know, Ulf are going to be chasing for that podium spot.
I mean, for me, I'm not too worried about Aurora right now. They've had a good start to the day or start to the finals, and we do know that this is a team that really waits until the last minute to actually do something. They just do just enough to stay ahead. But the problem is when you're seeing teams like ULF, like Vitality, we haven't even seen Vitality at their best yet. You know, teams like this that are going to be coming up and gaining that momentum as the days go on, Aurora are going to get left behind pretty quickly.
So you are worried or you're not worried?
I'm on the fence as of right now. At the end of the day, I'll be a bit worried.
Okay, because you say I'm not worried, and then you started sounding very worried to me.
I'm not too worried.
It started to sink in. She's like, oh, actually, this isn't looking too good.
She just kept saying more teams, and I'm like, okay. That sounds like you're contradicting yourself here. 4 Thrives ends up finding themselves here in the first page, but going here towards the second page, we really haven't seen much lays out of S2G. With Furia, it's been a hit of a miss, and then we got some of the other squads there.
S2G are getting busy, right? But they are sort of like losing the contests on these fights. They're able to get the placement points. It's been great. Chicken dinners are coming through, but it's kind of like more of a gifted scenario in a lot of segments. But you've heard me about Fury, guys. I'm not going to go on about that. But what
no driver's license.
I won't carry on about that. But look, I even just want to touch on like Vitality. We didn't really get to talk about them. They are playing incredibly scared. So Neptura, after your sort of worried statement, I am also worried in that sense, because like even in that final zone there, they had the western side to sort of scoop up behind Nigma Galaxy, and they did nothing.
Yep. One team that I want to see more out of, especially towards that second page, is none other than GodLike. And I would love to see the player stats so far today, because this is a team that a lot of people were expecting to actually finish pretty high. And it has to come with the fragging power of S-Power. And right now, for S-Power, to give him a break, he is the only one that's performing for the squad, being able to average at least 1. But the rest of the squad is just not looking good.
It's looking pretty bad in terms of eliminations, and the reason why the eliminations are so low is look at their survival time. They're not even breaching the 20, and some of the players not even the 18-minute mark, which is not good in a lobby of this caliber if you want to be contending for that, let's say, top 5 situation right now. So GodLike, even looking back on this game, they should have pushed up onto, I think it was Ulf's compound, but they got very idle, because the thing is, compared to the group stage where some teams might do mistakes and you might be able to weasel your way in, here you have to take fights head on if you want to have a chance to get very late into those games, get those placement points. GodLike, in a lobby like this, you cannot be hesitant. We've seen in your group stage, you have that raw fragging power from S-Power, from Admino, even Somei. And Manya is a great IGL, but you need to utilize it and take your chances.
Yeah, what I've noticed is Manya is making like these sort of scouting power plays, but the rest of the team is not supporting him, which they're getting caught out. So, I mean, it's surprising to sort of see that level that they're at right now, because Manya is making incredible decisions, but it looks like a few other sort of on the team are just kind of tunnel visioning into the wrong direction, and then that's when they're getting caught in.
Yeah, I think also one thing that we really need to think about, or they need to think about, is it seems like they keep going for positions that put them in a position to have to fight teams head on, and they're not succeeding in winning those fights. So if you want to make sure that you're actually going to get a position and be in there in the late game, you know, if you know that you're not really fragging out against these squads in the finals, then stop putting yourself in these tight positions in between teams that mean you have to frag your way out of them. Play a little bit more like Vitality, the way that they're on the edge. Nigma Galaxy as well, they're on the edge. They try to just wait out other teams, take a fight here or there, but just survive and keep their players for later.
Survive. That's the name of the game, all right? Just survive. It's so easy. Why don't you do it, GodLike? Actually, I believe they'll be able to turn it around. It is their first time here in the finals international event for a lot of its players. S-Power, I'm still proud of you, brother. You're still putting up the numbers, and I think you're going to do even more as the day goes on, as the days do end up going on. But for right now, let's send it over to none other than the stylish man, Blank, and our special reporter, Kalaris.
Yes, the stylish man and the short man. I get it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We've got ourselves Mr. Blank here to talk about everything
you're my
that's been going
special
on.
little reporter, right?
Yeah, I'll try my very best to rise to the occasion.
My special little man here on the stage here.
Shut up and go away. All right, we've got Tiamba to talk about as well, of course, as they have looked stellar in terms of their positioning and how they've been playing these games out, Blank.
Yeah, they have been really, really good. I'm so sorry. I do love you, bro. But honestly, there has been moments where the decision-making has been fantastic. I think that the way that they are speedily going to sometimes their demise is actually astonishingly good.
right? Because I think me and Jackie were talking about this. I don't know if you'd agree, but there are times where they'll make what feels like the best decision in a bad moment, right? Where a lot of teams would just stand by and probably get naded and be like, oh, it's over.
Well, Circles haven't been kind to them, so they've been able to kind of fight against some of that adversity. And I think that when you watched as QZZ was able to get MVPs on international stages this year alone, I think a lot of people, including Max and some pundits, etc., wanted extra people to be able to step up to the plate alongside him.
Sure.
Milu's been able to do that like twofold, which has been really phenomenal to watch so far.
Oh, Milu's been amazing.
Yeah.
Milu's been really, really good. It's fantastic to see. I mean, you were talking about it was FMVP for PMI, where he was able to get 39 eliminations over 7,000 damage for QZZ. But yeah, they have balanced the load in a big way. I think it's a really, really nice thing as well seeing A-King, because it very much reminds me the way that Alpha 7 used to play. They're not playing now.
Ignore that bit.
Ignore that bit. Let's just put that to the side for the time being. But yeah, A-King's kind of like the Revo of the team. He plays forward, he plays shotgun for the team. Milu's just very good in those clutch moments. And yeah, the load is spread out very, very evenly across the squad. Eagle is also a great survivalist. I think they have all the tools necessary to actually honestly win this at this point.
As you're talking, you're getting further away. Come back. It's fine. No. Okay,
where's my box?
The thing is that I think when you look at Tiamba's performance so far, and we can wrap it up on this and move on to our next team, is that double chicken dinner that they got at the start of survival stage, huge revitalization for them to be able to get themselves back on the road again and actually push to be able to find themselves in this state that they're in right now. What do you think?
Yeah, very, very good. I do think that that's what they needed, because the confidence came through. Every time I look down at Milu on the stage, right, it's very...
Like Milu.
I do like Milu. It's very heartwarming because there's... I like it when players are enjoying themselves, and Milu definitely enjoys himself. He's one of the smiliest guys I've seen. QZZ is a little bit more serious, I would say, other than the winning moments where, you know, he almost breaks his fingers on the high fives. That was funny. But I do think that for Milu, it's just nice to see a guy who's so good at the game, but also very much is passionate and enjoys his time in it. And he should be, because he's having an unreal run.
All right, let's move on to another team then, as we have Ulf, who has looked, I would say, towards some of these latest moments, pretty good as well. Obviously, they qualified off the back of having that last game survival win, which was extremely important for their campaign as a whole. And they are one of the teams that a lot of people thought was going to be able to attain those top spots. Right now, their space control is looking good, especially in this last game.
Yes, very much so. I mean, I'm one of those believers. I'm an Ulf believer. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that Eren is one of my favorite players. Ketch also from way back when, MVP in PMPL Season 1 Spring.
He's not quite as old as me, but he is pretty old. Way back.
He's old, yeah, but he's still got it in him. He's got the grizzled beard, he's a grizzled warrior. But he looks good. And I think that for Ulf, though, that last game was fantastic for me in particular, because we were talking about it backstage, right? And I said, if Ulf wins this game, I want to talk about them. But it was nice for me to be in like stage 6 and really believe in Ulf to actually win the game that they should be winning if they make the necessary movements, which was to take out Tiamba and slowly corral the rest of the squad. So the fact that they did one, kind of a prideful moment for me, because I was like, get in, lads. This is fine. You've got it.
And you liked your prediction.
I did, yeah. Also, I was quite chuffed about myself. Yes, that is right. Okay, 50-50.
Yeah, okay.
Great job, lads. Great job, me.
I think as well, you know, controlling that compound, it actually has great lines of sight on the south side. Any vulnerability normally comes from the north, which actually didn't really exist in that game due to the way the circles were shifting. So they had to turn all their attention to the east as the next main threat. And I think you're right. They prioritize those threats very well from a compound like that. So good stuff by Ulf so far. And let's turn our attention as well to E-Arena, who has looked... It's funny because I'm a little bit conflicted by what E-Arena's been putting up so far. Because even in this last game, I really appreciate the wide wraps that they're doing. The 4-5s have like almost zero opportunity to be able to react to the snowball coming down the hill and, you know, crushing them all. It was tough.
It was tough. I mean, E-Arena is just a strange team right now where I'm not sure if they're really good at the game or very lucky, which even they, I don't think, are very sure about this point in time. I remember a time when Schweppes, you know, was sweeping aside the competition. But again, I think E-Arena just hasn't quite hit that full stride yet. But they do have the massive potential.
He's been able to win twice on the stage in the past as Schweppes, with, of course, Vampire in the past. But anyway, thank you very much, Blank, for joining me here down on the stage. It is time to head on over to Glitter with an update.
Because there's a lot going on in chess today, and a lot of it is very CC heavy. So talk us through what's been going on.
So currently the game going on behind us at the moment is Magnus Carlsen, the tournament favorite, playing for Team Liquid against Nahal Sarin for SAUL.
Okay.
So pretty big game, mainly for Team Liquid. You know, SAUL have popped up across a few games, but not really near the top of the leaderboard. So Team Liquid, I'm not going to pretend like they're near the top at the moment either, to be honest with you, because they're probably lower down than SAUL at the moment. But they're expected to get a win here this weekend, considering Magnus Carlsen being the chess player that he is. And he is up 2-0 at the moment as well. So even if he gets one more draw through the next two games, he'll be progressing to the semi-finals. Earlier today, we had the first quarterfinal, which was Denis Lazovic playing against the Na'Vi representative. And he managed to get a win. So that's huge for AGL as well, considering they're trying to keep the top of this leaderboard. They pretty much need to outperform Falcons, which in itself, you know, it sounds kind of doable. But then you realize they've got two players. One of them's already progressed through. And Ali Reza Farouj is kind of playing now and beating his opponent as well.
Okay.
So Hikaru Nakamura already through to the semi-finals, which lines up a Hikaru Nakamura versus Denis Lazovic, AGL versus Falcons in the semi-final.
I mean, to be fair, Denis was trying to almost preempt the win. He was practicing putting the key into the trophy yesterday. So, you know, maybe that's a good omen?
I mean, the thing is, he was literally putting his opponent's key that he'd beaten in the winning trophy. So it wasn't even his own key. He was like knocking someone out and then putting them on a pedestal straight away. But yeah, it's been a good one over here in chess. You know, there's so many club championship storylines that kind of lay on chess at the moment, considering, you know, AGL have been knocked out of PUBG Mobile, have been knocked out of several other competitions as well. So Team Falcons have to be outperformed by AGL if AGL want to keep that top spot. But then again, Falcons are in Rocket League as well. So they're kind of in a great position to go far in the club championship.
मेरे लिए भी कर दो गाइस सात लोग देख रहे हैं सालों पर लाइक भी कर रहे हैं तुम लोग
So it's going to be a very close race is what we're hearing right now, and chess is going to be a big impact on just how close that race for the leaderboard is. We actually have way more matches coming up on the rest of the day, so as we have some more updates, we'll check back in with you, Trev. For now, we're going to say goodbye.
Shout out to the amazing Glitter Explosion and the amazing Trav as well for the Club Championship update. But now going back to PUBG Mobile's esports here at PMWC at EWC 26, we got to talk about Aurora. I would love to see Aurora player stats because there is one player in particular that you're not happy with his performance. You're over here like George St. Pierre, Max. You're like, I'm not happy with your performance. That's exactly what it sounds like because for this squad, I mean, they were able to start off hot, but they're just going to keep going down that leaderboard.
Yeah, it's not even just Doc, actually. I feel like I kind of want to see more from Reefus as well. That has kind of like been underperforming a little bit. Even Ziol. Ziol, I can give him a pass because he had some incredible grenades early on Rondo. So sure, maybe it doesn't showcase itself in the stats, but in general, I feel like Ziol has definitely also been pulling his weight. But top, it's been the top show. Getting almost 3 average eliminations per game is crazy in a lobby of this caliber. But it's not enough when only one player's putting up those numbers. Niptura, Doc, Reefus, again, Jolly get a pass, but Doc and Reefus, I want to see those guys doing well here in these coming Miramars.
Oh, absolutely. We know they can offer so much more than they are right now. I also want to give Reefus a half pass as well, because similarly to Ziol, we did see Reefus have some really cool information scouting off angles, like way across certain areas of the zone, really trying to get as much information as possible for his team. So in that regard, yeah, I do feel like he's kind of pulling his weight a little bit, but yes, overall I do agree with you, Max, that all of them need to really be stepping up to the plate here. 4th place is okay. It's not far behind first, but we just want to see more because we know that they can do so much more.
Yeah, and for me, no pass for Reefus. Okay, Reefus, I expect a lot better from you. You're the only player right now that hasn't gotten one of the international MVPs in that squad, so the pressure is on you. Okay, any passes that I had for him was last year. This is a new year. I want to see more survival time out of him as well, but here we go. We're looking at the overall lace. We're talking about Tiamba. We're talking about Flash. We're talking about some of these teams that we need to see more placement points out of.
Yeah, I want to ask Max, if he were to be an embodiment of a coach, you pick Team Flash, right?
Oh, if I wanted to coach a team, which team I would coach?
No, so I think Flash was, wasn't that your...
They're my prediction, yeah.
Yeah, your prediction?
Yeah.
Obviously being 7th place there, not doing terribly, but come on.
23 points behind.
Inner coach, what do you think they need to do to be able to skyrocket up that leaderboard so your prediction is correct?
Oh, it's complicated exactly to pinpoint what's going on with Team Flash. You're putting me on the spot right now. I didn't prepare a segment for this, but Team Flash. I feel like actually there was one fight that was versus 4 Thrives that I find interesting. That was actually the one that happened last game that eventually was won by Ulf. And I feel like what happened with Team Flash, they got caught off guard and they didn't find a good way to get themselves back up on their 2 feet and get ready for the fight, which under pressure, that is what you need to be able to do. Flash is a great team, right? If they take a fight they're ready for, when they're not ready for it, they just tend to crumble a little bit. So I don't think it's a gameplay issue per se. I feel like it's more of a mindset issue that Flash need to try and resolve.
As we're looking at the second page here, I'm also going to be looking at Hora Esports, Neptura. This squad, I mean, they have the fan base here. They have the support from the fans. But right now, in the second page, knowing Hora Esports, they're not going to be happy with this performance.
No, they're not. And I think it's a bit of an odd one, right? Because I think it's hard to say, like Max, right? It's hard to pinpoint what exactly is going on with them. But typically, this is a team that likes to play edge, likes to survive, likes to wait until the last few phases of the game to really start spreading out and taking third-party opportunities. They're very good at those third parties, and we're just not seeing that from them. They try sort of half-heartedly making good on some of these plays, but they get overthrown very, very quickly by these more aggressive players and more aggressive teams. And so they just seem to be a little bit too passive. I know Hora tends to be called passive a little bit more, but this is not a passive team when it comes to those fights, and except for today, it just kind of feels like that's what they're the name that they're living up to, unfortunately.
I mean, it's an incredible start from them, though, from the first couple of matches. So, like, obviously, we talk about teams that sort of start out strong, start out weak. I think they started out incredibly strong, but it seems like, obviously, coming into these later matches and everybody's reading the zones a little bit better in these positionings, they are getting caught out on that. So I do agree with you in that sense. But look, it's just kind of that balance of mentality that they're sort of struggling later in these matches. But I feel like, even though it's just today, I feel like tomorrow it's going to be like a little bit of a different scene from them in the start. I do believe they have it. They've got the fans to back them up, of course. I'm backing them up. Maybe not for the rest of the day.
I was about to say, you're giving them a break until tomorrow. No, fans, I want to see it. They want to see it coming up in Miramar.
ये 45 मिनट क्या कर रहे हो?
Okay, if you only had like your typical rule set, sure, fair enough. You can have one day off. We got Smash ruling. You might just have only 2 games there on that day 3, and you just don't know how it's going to go. If it happens like it happened in the Macau Invitational, boy, oh boy, that was crazy. We had 5 teams in the Smash zone at the same time. Eventually, Nongtron Red Force did get the win, stealing it away from Furia, but Smash ruling in play, you just don't know how long you really have, Niptura, so you got to make the most out of the games you're currently playing, because otherwise that gap, it might be impossible to come back from in that final day.
Well, exactly, and there's your point brings up 2 teams to mind for me. The first one we've already talked about, Aurora. I said that they typically are a day 3 team, which makes things very complicated when it comes to that Smash ruling. Exactly. What day 3, right? The other one is for Thrives, because again, they do very well, typically, very well on day 1, because day 2, they tend to dip. The momentum just drops significantly, and then they can bring it back up on day 3. Again, what day 3? We could very well have a scenario where day 3 is really non-existent. So for those 2 teams in particular, that's really scary thought.
Yeah, day 3 will still happen, but depending on how the leaderboard is looking and depending on what other teams end up doing, we could end up just seeing 2 games because Smash Rule is in effect. So just to remind everybody, the way that ends up working out is when we end up going to Smash Rule on the last day, whoever's in first place on the previous day, you get plus 10 points if I'm not mistaken, and then that becomes what we like to call the Smash Zone. Once a team is able to pass that threshold, in the next game, if they do end up winning, or whichever game after that, if they do end up winning, they would end up winning via Smash Rule. And this is something that we kind of you were especially hitting on just now, Max, because it could come into play. If a team is too far ahead, I mean, especially with Rondo starting off as well, it could be an easy 10 points for that squad, and later on, we can see teams just readjusting their playing style because all they have to do is just win, baby.
But it also adds so much pressure.
Yes.
Right? We do have to highlight it. I mean, I want to take you guys back to PMG Season 1, Jakarta, right, in Indonesia. 4 Thrives. What was it? 50+ point lead after day 1. Like something crazy like that. They just destroyed everyone in those 6 games. And then comes over day 2. They're like, oh, wait a minute. We try and get into the Smash-In. They get into the Smash-In very early. Pressure gets to them. Ulf is like, oh, you're crumbling. You're having a bad time. And they catch back up to that team and almost take it away in that last Miramar. But luckily enough, 4 Thrives do maintain that top position. But the Smash ruling is a blessing and a curse based on how you approach it. And for 4 Thrives, I am scared if they do get into the Smash room once again, how are they going to perform? Because back in that last event, it was looking shaky. They can't afford to shake up badly here back-to-back.
Yeah, that team, they ended up pretty much just showing us what we have seen in the past with 4 Thrives, which is the biggest question mark, and that is the mental state of the players, because when things don't end up going their way, they do end up getting into their mind. Yep. For them, being able to be champions, though, for 4 Thrives is going to be looking different. For a team that's wanting to become champions, none other than Enigma Galaxy, they have had a great start here today, but I know Jackie got a chance to talk to them.
Hello everyone, Jackie Powers here, live from Pmwc at Esports World Cup, and I'm joined by the legend himself, Ralph, from, of course, Enigma Galaxy. Now, buddy, I got to get in there and ask, the pop-off moment, Eva's been hot-dropping you every game. It feels like every time we're in Erangel, they're willing to sacrifice their own points to target your team. What's going through your mind in these moments, and what was that like, kind of asserting the dominance of, we keep winning this, and I'm going to prove it, standing up on the stage?
I mean, Ida knows we've been landing in Pushinki, me personally, for 7 years now. So they want to challenge us. They want to prove themselves as a new team. But they know we won't change, and they know we're better than them. So just a waste of time for them. They're just giving us 3 points. First match, they were scared to fight, and they ran away. The other 2 matches, we fight them, we push them, and we just kill them easily. So, yeah, that's why I pop off, because it doesn't make sense.
Oh, exactly. I mean, we kind of mirrored that on the cast in the moment, thinking it's doing more damage to them than it is you guys in these moments. Obviously, let's talk a little bit more on a positive term. It's been pretty good for you guys so far in finals. It feels like the comms right now on the team are really clean as well. Do you think this is going to be Enigma winner? You're looking to take the trophy home this year?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like we're prepared more than ever to win the trophy. We're trying our best. Everything is going our way for now. It's a good start, but the tournament is still long, so we keep it up, keep the momentum, and try to grab that trophy.
There you go. Respectful as always with some brilliant takes. Always lovely to chat to Ralph. There you go. Enigma Galaxy. Let's see if they can do it.
I see the Key Crusher on stage. I think, yeah, that's cool, but it could be cooler.
Yeah, baby, all the way! Oh, hell yeah!
That's why I found a crusher of my own. Through totally legal means. Now let's crush this watermelon. That's how esports should be done. Solve this, nerd. Yeah. For T1. Okay, France was stronger than I thought. Don't need soap when you're in esports. Squeaky clean. Can of beans. Ah! Ah!
ये ऑडियो सुन के कुछ और ही याद आता है.
Can of cola. Esports! What time is it? Time to go.
I love seeing that. I love seeing them just crashing other stuff, you know? What's one thing, Lace, what's one thing that if you had the power to crush it, you would end up crushing? Besides Max Man's hopes for Team Flash.
Damn it. No.
Why?
No, I think, you know what, 7, you.
Oh! Wait, what?
I've got to take the shade off of Max at some point, and I need someone to pick on, and I just was kind of looking in your direction, and yeah.
How would you do that, though? What's like...
We don't need to go into details.
No,
Max,
no.
what would you be crushing?
7 also. What would I be crushing? You know
Who would I be crushing?
Who would I be crushing? No. Ooh, can we do Niptra first? I don't know.
No, don't do me. I
on the spot. Come on.
I would be crushing the key of Ida because they're making me very angry. I would take it like this, and it would not. The tournament would not even end, and I would just take it and crush it and turn it into a paste and squash it under my feet. So I don't know. I really don't like the hot drop, as you can tell. Probably, I don't like it. It's not fun.
How about you?
He's looking at me. I can see him on the monitor. He's looking at me very intensely. Is 7, and I don't have an answer.
Oh, you're gonna have to find one.
You know what?
You have to pick something.
Oh no! Don't put it on me. This is bullying.
Keep it.
This is bullying.
Come on.
What's it gonna be?
Instagram DMs.
Actually, that's a good answer. That's a good answer, actually. Yeah.
She's just gonna be printing them out and just crushing them. Mine, I would want to see how long it takes to crush the level 3 helmet for PUBG Mobile. That would be sick. You know what? For next PMWC, how about we crush that? We'd love to end up seeing that, or maybe one of the
squeaky chicken.
The what?
Squeaky chicken. Crush that and see what happens.
Jeez, come down there in Farmville. As we're going to be going into Miramar, one thing that we've been noticing, oh my gosh, talking about Miramar, perfect time to us. We're seeing some of the bloopers that we have had so far at PMWC. Aurora with this one. That one hurt to see. But this was honestly ended up working out for EA, especially because they jumped at the same time.
Yeah, it did. That was the only redeeming quality, but otherwise it was a sticky situation that they had to get themselves out of. So yeah, GG on that one, but yeah.
Did they hit the light post?
A little bit.
You say they got the light knocked out of them.
That one, oh, that was my favorite one so far, Max.
That's so good.
You know how hard it is to do that? It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot replicate that. Also, XEY, when he was going over with the glider, he was actively getting shot at, by the way. Can't see all of the shots connecting, but some of them do. And before he explodes, he jumps out. That's some James Bond stuff right there in PUBG Mobile, and he makes it onto the tower. And actually, that position was really big for Nongshim Red Force in that game. I wish they got something similar in the finals, though. It's not been the case so far.
Oh, this one stinks. Yeah, that one stinks. Just because they're not here anymore. You can even see it with Blank when he brought up Alpha 7. It was like, ooh.
Never
the reigning champions of PFGC, not in the finals of PMWC.
That's like, ooh, maybe not. Hora, we love self-nading in this household. It's just so much fun, and it's dumb. But here we go. You do have it occasionally. Here we go, Aleka. I mean, and it's, any team can do it. We had A7, we've had Hora, 721 GS now.
Sometimes you're just such a powerful player that you need to be humble and eliminate yourself from the competition. God damn, we have some humble PUBG mobile players.
We do. Oh!
It's like what we do, Max. It's pretty much this is exactly the playing style when we end up playing. We're just so good at the game that we had to give the other teams a chance, give the other players a chance. We're like, okay, time to nade ourselves.
You have to intentionally throw sometimes. If you want to give other people, the noobs, a chance, unlike us, they need to be given an opportunity at redemption in these games and get those chicken dinners, because otherwise they're just not going to get anything done. So yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, and as we're going to be going into Miramar, we're still waiting for the matches to be ready here. That's why there's been a bit of a delay. As we're going to be going into Miramar, there is some drops that we've been kind of keeping an eye on, especially for GodLike and Hora, and you can see Max just starting to get even more and more red. I love how the shade just went from like your regular color to now starting to get a little bit more red with this hot drops. But the thing is, with GodLike, one thing that they have adjusted, Lace, is with GodLike, they haven't hot dropped before. They did hot drop at the start of the tournament, but they realized it wasn't going to be going their way, and they stopped hot dropping.
I mean, they make these decisions based off of, I guess, all their play styles from previous matches. I like the fact that they're trying to make different decisions to see what can benefit them. Obviously, they need to capitalize on more eliminations, so seeing hot drops come out of them is better, but also they do have the power and the great positioning to go into these final circles. So when we bring into Smash Rule, and if obviously they can catch up that leaderboard in eliminations, this is a team that can finalize it and break it out by getting that win at the end of the day. So even though their eliminations are slow now, say we come into tomorrow, they can capitalize on these eliminations, moving on up the leaderboard, they are a team that will be able to hit the Smash Rule because they can capitalize on the wins. What are you guys doing?
I believe so. I think they could put themselves into that position, and we're just showing our support here. We're looking at some of the teams that we ended up predicted, and for everybody currently watching at home, for everybody here in the arena as well, don't forget that you can go into the EWC Play app and put in your predictions turn in with, just scan that, scan that real quick right here. Just go ahead and scan it and see what teams you're going to be selecting. I ended up selecting Aurora being in the top 3. This is the first time that in a long time that I haven't picked them to win.
That's fair. I think that is fair. I wish they would win, but they're not. The way it's going, at least it doesn't look insanely likely unless they have a massive comeback in the next couple of days. But 4Thrives, also a team that needs to step up because, look, I've been supporting you guys for ages and ages. And you won PMGO, and I want you to have a back-to-back. I know you can do it. Do it.
Yeah, ages. So many ages.
Oh wait, this is 4Thrives. I thought I was horror. I can't touch that. Okay, I thought I was horror. I'm not. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I thought.
Bad. No.
I love that Tura just kicks it too. She doesn't even try to pick it up.
Okay, yeah, I can't touch any 4Thrives merchandise. Okay, I need to.
By the way, huge shout out to Jackie because while we're waiting for the game to start here, Jackie has been running around getting some interviews, and I think he was able to get another interview with maybe a fan this time.
We're still roaming around talking to the fans. We're going to see what sort of teams people are enjoying over here and who they think is going to win. Excuse me, buddy. Who do you think is going to win the event?
Ulf, I think it's win. Yes.
Let's go. Big up for Ulf.
Let's go, Ulf.
Ulf. What about you, brother? Ulf. So we got some old fans in the house. Thank you, boys. Let's roam in a bit. Hey guys, 4Thrives. Hey, okay, there we go. Got some 4Thrives fans in the house. Who's your favorite player on 4Thrives?
Of course, all, but I will go with Huzafa and Falak.
Okay.
Yeah. But
There's been a lot of fans for Falak. What do you think it is? Is it how he plays the game or just his personality? What do you like about him?
how is it played? He's an aggressive player, so and personality as well. Yeah, so yeah.
What about all 4Thrives here in terms of thinking they're going to win it? You a big fan of 4Thrives?
Yeah, we are especially came from Pakistan to support them. We are here for our team and we love them all. They represent our country and represent us. So we are here to support them.
Have you guys been getting loud throughout the event as well, giving them your energy? I imagine that. I've been hearing a lot of 4Thrives cheers. That coming from you guys?
Yeah, that's definitely us. We are here to support our team, to cheer them.
Good luck with the event. Fingers crossed for 4Thrives. They've been looking great. I'm going to roam on, see what else we got. Enjoy the show. What we got going on down here? Hello, brother. How you doing? Yeah? Who do you think's going to win the event?
Okay, particularly I can't say anything for the first day because it's going to be a tough competition. It's a EWC man all over the world. Everyone is competitive in this game. So let's wait till tomorrow so then I can say who can win. I know the game, I know how the game works. So let's just wait patiently. First day is a good day for everyone. Let's hope my team win. Horror.
You want to see Horror win. If they're gonna, you'd love to see a big Horror victory.
Yeah. I love to see that, but still, I say, no disrespect to any team, but I want my team to win. That's the motive of champions.
There you go. We're looking for a Horror win over this side. Let's go find out what's going on in the other sides of the arena.
Avli, I need you to cover the STC arena today.
Ooh, it's gonna be tough.
Why?
Because I have no interest in doing that.
Come on, we need you over there.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go to the beach just really quick, and if the games are still going on by the time I get back, I'll say a couple words.
The beach is 5 hours from here. I wish Avli cared about esports more than anything in the world.
That's a candy bar.
It's worth a shot. Avli, what are you doing?
I'm here for EWC. I love esports.
More than anything in the world? So you can cover STC Arena?
I'm gonna cover it all.
That's great. Well, let's get you over
I want a key.
No, you can't have a key. Keys are only for clubs. Yeah, okay. We'll figure out your key.
Great, let's go.
Okay.
What is that like?
Avli, I just want to say you're doing a phenomenal job. Everyone's really excited about your work.
I just love esports so much.
Yeah, well, I'm going to ask about getting you a raise because you deserve it.
I don't need a raise. I have my key.
How did you... Can I see that?
Mm-hmm.
Avali. Did you take this from somebody?
No. No. No, 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 don't do that! We were having such a nice tournament! Why does it matter? We were having such a nice tournament!
Okay, it's your key. It's your key. Probably would have got crushed anyway.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to run into that because that is scary. Talking about scary, we had some hot drops that we were talking about with Godlike versus Hora. This squads, I mean, the only thing that would suck for those squads is that they're currently on that second page, Max. That's why we're saying we don't want to see any hot drops from those two squads.
Nobody wants to be Ida 2.0. Okay, sorry.
You know
it's
what?
fair. If you're an Ida fan, I'm sorry. I'm going to start. I'm just memeing at this point. No, but they didn't do the hot drop in their respective group, right? Which was Group A back then, if I'm not mistaken, or the other one, but one of the groups. And they didn't go for it. But the reason why they didn't go for the hot drops, really, the real reason is because the planes were very focused over to the eastern side and the southern side, meaning La Cobreria was not in reach. I want to see a plane right, Niptura, where it goes and reaches La Cobreria, and we see as a fact that Hora and Godlike, and hopefully also Chama, that might drop there, will not commit to the fight because, yeah, right now they're not in a good position. They cannot afford to lose points, and I think they're not going to commit to it, but it could get bad.
And for Godlike, I mean, you don't want to go up against a team that's currently being able to put up even more elims than you, that usually ends up being more aggressive, like you were talking about in the stance of Hora.
Yeah, no... Again, yeah, if they were doing much better in the last 4 matches, if they had, you know, if they were top 5, top 6, something like that, and they were feeling really good and looking very confident, maybe you could try to contest the drop, right? But the way it stands, honestly, for either of these teams, I don't think either of them should really try and contest this. It really is down to who had it first and up to the other team to kind of figure out where else they want to go, because I'm not confident that either of those teams would win against each other. I think it's a 50-50.
Even if you lose a player, right, it just hurts your potential performances onto Miramar. So yeah, I do think that Godlike, talking to S-Power, you and me, right, Seven, we had a bit of a chat with him. He's like, you know what, it's not worth it. They had that first hot drop onto, I believe it was Hustler Crew, onto Orangutan in their group stage, and like, you know what, it's just not worth it. Let's give it up. And I think that was one of the best changes in this entire tournament, was from Godlike, and I want to see that bleed into Miramar going into today.
Maturity, honestly, from the first time being at a global event, especially in finals, and well, during group stages, it ended up happening. But maturity out of that player for S-Power, saying we don't want to continue with the hot drops. We want to stop that. We see that it's going to end up hurting our performance. And Lace, I want you to put your mindset into a coach right now, into the biggest hype coach for some of their squads. Godlike and Hora, which team are you going to be picking, and what are you going to be telling them if they do decide to hot drop, or if they don't decide to hot drop?
Just get it together, man. No. Look, Godlike, and because, we were just saying S-Power, their adaptation to each and every game deserves to get a little bit further, and I just hope that you guys can find that great little key that you need to be able to push through into those final zones and capitalize on those eliminations. They have it in them. You've got it in you, and I believe that you will be able to do that. Obviously, we may need a little bit more time to sort of get that, but I just like the way that this team calculates and puts in a strategy. Might not work out for them, but then they'll try a new strategy that they'll be able to solidify a lot more in this competition. So look, I think they can do it.
Yeah, especially for both teams being in the second page. You want to be able to build up the momentum. We've seen some teams being able to build up momentum and just carry it on throughout the matches. Only 3 days here at Pmwc at EWC 26, the finals. We've been sending it to Jackie over and over again. Then I want to see what Hot Jukes and Blank are up to.
Woo! Thank goodness the group stage and the survival stage is done. Now we can finally kick back and save our voices for a little bit.
Playing some ball was a good time. It's been an incredible event so far, honestly, in Paris. Very, very fun. I mean, we're here right now in the Players Lounge, which is honestly ginormous. I think the first place we saw when we came in. Trying to hit some trickies right now, but it ain't happening. Also, I just want to let everyone know that I play pool. But I don't really, I play snooker. So this is very different for me.
It's not the same thing. Not the same thing at all. Matter of fact, I've never even seen a snooker table in real life. This is the game to play. I thought it was only one singular game.
Yeah, I'm gonna break the rules.
Okay, what are you thinking? What are you thinking?
I think I'm gonna break the rules in terms of what I'm...
He is looking to take the shot. Will he hit the stripe? Little bounce shot. There we go. Well, you know, we're getting things figured out here. Let's see if I can finally hit one of these things.
Okay. So what have you thought about the tournament so far? I mean, for me, tournament's been great. I've really enjoyed it. It's been insane. There's been some crazy moments. That's a good shot. It's a good shot too. Fourth drives look fantastic. I mean, Orangutan, Godlike coming in over towards that top 5 is just some crazy stuff. Couldn't believe it. I think everyone I've talked to whilst they're being here saying they're having a really good time. Again, everyone's really taken care of here as well. Plenty of stuff that we're taking advantage of as well. Honestly, that's the big thing. Like, we're having actually kind of a pretty damn good time here. All right. Yeah, we got our 3 games in. I do watch the other ones, but afterwards I like to come chill here. It's a lovely spot.
This place is stupid, to be honest. It's ridiculous. Dude, the by far some of the best food I've ever had at an event ever. And this place really does have it all, dude, right? I mean, like every game you can imagine, manicurists on stage, and dude, that lady's insane. Like I've seen some of the girls walking out of there, and now she's like booked out for 2 weeks, which is wild. But I might even get a haircut in a second. I love it. I love it here.
We're so hyped about you taking the mic back off me as well. Yeah, I know. I'm about to get a manicure, dude. I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready for mine. Yeah. But overall, genuinely, the PUBG Mobile is always, I think PUBG Mobile might be the greatest event at EWC. Pmwc, EWC, so good. We're biased as hell though about that, but we do get like 2 good weeks out here to enjoy the vibe. You know, it's been in Riyadh quite a few other times, but even there, it's been very, very fun coming to Paris. For me, Paris is good because it's a 1-hour flight as opposed to an 18. But I'll still take the 18 to go to Riyadh. Very, very good time. But it does mean I don't have to get a massage while I'm here. My back is not ruined.
Yeah, I'm in the same thing boat. I mean, when I heard that there was massage therapists actually available, I was like, please, where are you at? Because my flight was a whole lot longer than that. But yeah, man, so far this has just been a crazy journey. And the survival stage just finished. It was tough leaving the hotel room this morning and seeing like 10 teams go home. But at the end of the day, someone's going to be the champ. And another team is going to be the not champs. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. I'm just watching. I saw him shoot 2 different color balls. He really does play snooker here, folks. And that was close. That was close. I like it.
Look, I'm just hitting balls in holes right now, okay? I'm playing the equivalent of golf, just with a long stick. I hope that's fine what you did. I don't know the rules. Tell me the rules. Right? That's fine. I got you, bro. Yeah, I heard you like stop. I heard you stop. You kind of confused what was going on. That's fine. Yeah. So you're solids, I'm stripes. Is that how that works? Or the numbers? I just know. I just go for colors. That's where I'm from. It's just colors. It's so much easier. Black goes in last. Boom. It's easy. That's all I need. So I'm stripes. Okay.
Okay, he's locked in now. Okay. But what's one thing that you really need to make sure whenever you're playing any game is understanding the rules, right? But even if you don't understand the rules, sometimes you just send it, baby, right? You just put in the work and you might come out on top. Like, that's what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? This guy is, I like it though. You know what I'm saying? That's how you make the plays, baby. Let's get it.
Yeah, sometimes you help other teams. That's kind of rough. Okay, I respect it. Sometimes you gotta make some difficult shots in your life. I trust you. It's a long reach. It was close though. It was I thought you were gonna really ruin that. I thought you were ruin that. Okay, like tell me something. 4 thrives. Overrated or not?
Hell no, dude. Thor Thrives is insane. I mean, they are coming in champions of PMGO Season 1. I didn't think we were going to see a Pakistani team be our champs, not this soon. And this guy's giving me a chance. I really, really appreciate it. And hopefully, we'll see Thor Thrives try to give some of these guys a chance, because in Group A, these guys look like they were unstoppable.
They look really good. I mean, they were beat out points-wise by Vitality. But Vitality... It was ridiculous. You're right. It was ridiculous. It was a good time, though, watching them play. Big return to form for Indonesia. It's not been like this in such a long time. Oh, almost. But yeah, big return for Indonesia. It like feels like the spiritual successors right now to BTR back in the day, but there's no BTR pranks happening. No jokes, just gameplay.
Just gameplay indeed, dude. The whole Vitality Day was absolutely insane. I just kept on talking to some of these dudes backstage, and I was like, guys, what do you think about Vitality's performance? And all I heard was, what the, and it was like filled in by any word you could possibly imagine. That's what I'm talking about. That was good. That was good. I like it. Purposeful shots here. Let's see how this one goes for Blank. Side pocket. Oh, just barely.
Will they do that again?
I mean, I don't know if they're going to be able to. I'm looking at.
But you know what, dude? That's the one thing I love about PUBG Mobile. Sometimes you get put in some beautiful situations, but the best teams always find themselves a way out.
I mean, AJL is a good example of that. They got themselves in a real good situation. I mean, top team Tiamba going for the crown, and honestly, they completely flubbed it. That was a lovely shot, by the way, dude. Well played. Winning up against Tiamba in that last game, survival stage. They're given all the chance in the world versus Nongshim Red Force, but Nongshim, I would say they're one of the teams looking to continue on. And I don't think AGL had it in them this year, but Tiamba just had a massive turnaround. But these things happen. Some mistakes happen. Oh, dude, I forgot that you were like right at the finish line. I've got like some more steps to go.
You got it. But hey, you know what? That's what it's all about. You just take things one step at a time. No matter what kind of situation you put in, you got to just figure things out and make it happen. Yeah, take another one. Sometimes you got to take a mulligan. Little combination shot.
I tried.
I like it. I like it.
I've made it easy for you, though. I've lined you up. You're lined up. You're ready to go. Look, I've created a runway for you. Look. Say, you come down here and go in this back pocket. Yeah. I've got the lights. I'm guiding you home, dude. I'm guiding you home. Oh! Okay, that was unreal. The lights, they guided him home. It was good to see. Let's hope that some of these teams can get themselves guided home to a victory at the end of PMWC here at EWC. Thanks for watching. My name's Blank, and this right here is
Hot Jukes.
Catch you guys later.
This is probably my best acting performance ever. Man, it's gonna be a crazy finals. I mean, we got Four Thrives, who from Pakistan. They won PMGO Season 1. They're a huge favorite. Team Vitality, dude, they had the craziest group stage performance I've ever seen. Godlike, yeah, we got OG, OG, yeah, they're insane. Dude, anybody could really do this, you know what I'm saying? Team Furia is a huge favorite of mine. They qualified in through survival stage, but it's one of those things where, like, I feel like this year we're gonna see a team nobody expected win the whole thing.
Okay.
Which should be fun to see.
All right, $5. Who is it?
Who could it be, dude? It's gonna be so wild of a pick. Honestly, if Four Thrives wins this, it'll be like the nuttiest thing ever.
Yep.
It would be crazy.
What do they got to do to win? Get a little lucky, obviously. But what else? What can they do to set themselves up?
That's the biggest thing, right? Like, PUBG Mobile is a game. It's such a team game that even if you don't get those lucky circles, you got to put up consistent points no matter what. You know? I mean, and if you don't, it get a little, just even the slightest bit lazy, you're going home, you know?
Yeah.
Like, one of my personal favorite teams, because they were NA team, was the Wolves. they made just the tiniest little car mistake. They end up losing and went home by 1 point.
Wow.
And
the margins here are insane.
And if you look back at the videos, like there was one play where one of the players accidentally just drove into a wall, and they ended up getting pretty much flushed because of it. And you just think, like, if just any little tiny mistake was avoided, they could have got that extra point and went to the finals.
But don't you have to risk it to get the biscuit?
You gotta risk it, dude. Sometimes the wall looks too juicy. There's those coin flip decisions, dude, right? And you can go left, and if it works out, you're a genius, you know? And if it doesn't, you're like an idiot. So, like, I think it's just avoiding.
हेलो सो हेलो गाइस, चलो मिलते हैं कल के स्ट्रीम पे। मैचेस अभी नहीं होंगे, क्यों नहीं होंगे उसका रीजन पता चल जाएगा, बट जीजी हुआ है कुछ तो मिलते हैं कल की स्ट्रीम पे। तब तक के लिए बाय बाय, गुड नाइट, टेक केयर एंड थैंक्स फॉर जॉइनिंग दिस स्ट्रीम गाइस, बाय बाय।